Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Let me get situated. How's everybody doing? Appreciate the nation in the building. I see everybody leaves in the chat. Y'all already know how we get it up. How's everybody doing, man? Look
doing good. Doing good.
What's good? What's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
Doing
all right.
Cool, man. We got some things to unpack tonight, if you will. seen a couple of clips, man, that kind of raised my eyebrows, and it was referencing, like what real men are responsible for doing. So we're gonna kind of unpack why it is that real men don't necessarily do these things. But before we do, y'all already know we got to introduce this amazing panel that we have. First and foremost, we got Philosophical in the building. We got Miss Kayla.com in the building. OT himself is in the building. Miss Saida is in the building with us. B Lucky Marie in the building. Ronin himself in the building with us. D Security Boss in the building. And last but not least, my dog Nigel from the Unspoken.
Nigel. True. When you play the applause, you kind of fade out.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. That's perfect. I need the applause louder than my voice. Like we coming out on stage and it's 1,000 people, 150,000 in the crowd, and just that's the kind of aura I want to go for. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. Appreciate everybody for tapping in with us. Make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all haven't already. Real quick, man, y'all showing love already. Amaj in the building with the 20 wall. Hello, cousin. What up? What's going on with you? Mazda, that's family right there. I appreciate it. But yeah. Let's see. Housekeeping. Krewseason.com for all merchandise. We got a big announcement coming for y'all within the next probably week or two. What would you say, oh?
I say 2 weeks. I say 2 weeks just so they, not on edge. But yeah.
Hey, damn, I wish I can give y'all something, but I can give y'all something. A giveaway is coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
A giveaway that's on grand proportions, man. So y'all make sure. Yeah, giveaway that's on grand proportions, man. So make sure that y'all tapped in, and then another big announcement is gonna come as a product of that. But appreciate everybody for showing us love, man. New merch is on the way. We're gonna have some stuff posted probably tomorrow. That's gonna go on sale. Patreon has already seen it. So Patreon get first access to everything. Y'all already know what that is. But everybody else should be privy to it within the following couple days. Marcus in the building with the fireball. What up, everyone? Let's be good tonight. Look, man, always, man. Always good. Appreciate you. But without further ado, let's get into the topic of discussion tonight. Why do men refuse to be real men today? We're going to kind of unpack this. Real men, I put quotations on it for a reason. I feel like that word is thrown around a lot. You see what I'm saying? And look, everybody shaking their head already. So we're going to kind of unpack what that is, per se. First question of the night. What is a real man? We hear that a lot. Real men, if you was a real man, you don't do this. Real men don't do that. What is a real man in your eyes? We're going to go and start with Il first.
All right. Well, real, like everything else, is in the eye of the beholder. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just based on how that person was raised and what example of a man they was given and what example of a man was praised in their upbringing. So, you can ask one person, a good man is somebody that just, take care of the family. Somebody else, a good man could be just somebody who just listens to the wife, everything she asks him to do. So it just really depends on how they was brought up and what they seen. So it really just varies. You know what I mean? So I feel like a real man is somebody that's unapologetic, that's fair, that respects everybody, that does the basics, take care of the family, provide, protect, but it's also flexible to hearing sound advice, regardless of who it comes from. You know what I'm saying? He might can learn from the child sometimes. Sometimes he can learn from the wife. He can learn from anybody. Somebody that just opens a suggestion, but still understands his place as the leader. So that's what I think a real man is.
I like that. Well, we're gonna go on and get the fellas to answer it first, and then we're gonna come to the women. That's kind of a bit unfair to ask y'all what a real man is first. But all right. Oh, a real man, real being in all caps. What is a real man to you?
To me, I think, as they would say, like he's a man's man. You know what I'm saying? Like other guys that's around him gonna respect him. They're gonna know he's solid, and just his leadership style. And that can look so many different ways. Like a lot of times there are leaders who are quiet, but the way they move and the things they do behind camera, is well respected. So you don't always have to be out there. You don't always have to wear the jewelry. You don't always have the flashy things. A lot of times, like some dudes just be solid individuals, and a lot of people, those that understand what he's doing or how he's moving, they understand. So I would just say just real, genuine, authentic, who has rules and standards that he just stands on. I mean, and it comes down to that. He can base his decisions off all that. So just that solid foundation, and being real and authentic at all times.
Well said, Ronin. A real man, real being in all caps. What does that look like, man?
A real man allows his OGs to counsel him to be that better man. He earns that mantle of leadership around his peers. He knows his position. He can lead from certain different ways. He finds his place and moves that according to that. He learns how to master the situation, read the room, but he learns to master himself. Because if he doesn't govern himself, everything will fall apart in short order. So, and he keeps it real with himself, unapologetic, doesn't cater to anybody as much as like that. but he knows how to get the best out of people by understanding how they communicate and how they receive things.
Well said. Out of answer. Nigel, a real man. What does that look like?
I think a real man, like you said earlier, I think he's a leader. He knows how to delegate. He knows when to put people in position. He knows when to listen. He knows when to sit back and just let everybody, work their magic and, only say something when something needs to be said. Somebody that can, I feel like my man said earlier, it's how you was raised. Like, how was you raised? Like, were you raised to be a leader? You know what I'm saying? Like that has a lot to do with it. Your upbringing, your trauma. I think too, though. What have you actually been through that you can kind of, be able to give advice and also be able to be mature enough to take advice and not thinking that somebody against you type shit. But I feel like that's for the most part that's what it is. Knowing how to delegate.
Yeah, I agree. I think a real man is just somebody that got a code of ethics, morals, the way you move, and he is unwavering with that code, whether it's convenient for him or whether it's not. We talk about a sense of duty all the time, especially in regard to a man with a family, right? Like your sense of duty is to that family, period. So if you got to put yourself on the back burner to get it done, you got to do what you got to do. You got to uplift your woman. You got to make sure your kids is guided in the right place, and if those things don't happen, there is no excuse for it. The buck stops at you. That's what you sign up for, being a real man, because that's how your code is set up. Regardless of what aspect of life you in, if it's in the legal aspect of life or if you're in the streets or you doing whatever it may be, the code is the code. Whatever I signed up for, I'm gonna stand on that code. So if I'm a street dude, I signed up to be a street dude. If I get caught, I'm not telling on nobody. I'm gonna take my time and do whatever is necessary that come with consequences of what I'm doing. But it's code. Everything is code based. And a lot of men in this era, unfortunately, do not have a code. They kind of go based on what's convenient, what feels good, instead of going by that code. So that's how I would just define it, man. Go ahead, Ronin.
I want to say real quick, and maybe you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of men in that billet, they understand there's a great deal of power behind the spotlight and underneath it.
That's facts. That's 1,000% facts. But all right, we got all the fellas' answers. Now I'm extremely interested in hearing what the ladies gonna say. First and foremost, man, we're gonna start with Miss Kayla. What does a real man look like to you?
How did I know you were gonna start with me? I just knew it. So for me, I mean, I don't disagree with any of the points that the men have offered so far. But what I'll say for me is that I think a real man is a man of his word. That's one of the most important things. Like if a dude is not if he can't back up his word, if he doesn't stand on his word, then you're just like a little boy crying wolf and playing games to me. And that could be at work, in relationships, any space. So I think foundationally, that's just a point for me that's very important. And I'll just give one. I'll leave it there.
All right. Take it, Miss Saida. A real man. What does that look like?
I love the fact that you ask men first, because that's how kind of how you should be, and you see yourself, all of you guys, and I loved it. Everybody mentioned really good things, so I'll try to mention things that haven't been said. So I really like disciplined men, and I think like the men that I admire in my life are very disciplined and committed. So those are two things that I would like to mention. But I also want to spice things up, and I want to be fair with women, like always. They always bring the biblical part of the woman. So I think for a man, it should be fearing God and keeping his commandments. That's very important. So I'll leave it right there.
I like that. Miss Luck, a real man. What does that look like?
Well, I think everybody said something, but I didn't hear consistency. And I'm gonna say strength. Me personally, all the other things can be intact, but if you can't protect yourself or me, I might not think of you as a man. I mean, you a man, but if you can't fight and we just getting fucked up, go to God. You know, that works. But I'm just saying, like, you could have everything, but if you don't have strength or the instinct to protect, all that other stuff just kind of goes out the window, in my opinion. So I'm gonna just add consistency in that.
I like it. I like it. SB, a real man. What does that look like?
I'm associate real with being good, and I'm gonna say everything you all said was dead on. The only thing I can add is he's definitely operates in principles, morals, and what else? I think y'all covered everything else. I'm the last one, so everything else was basically covered. Principles and morals. That's the and guess what else? But Saida, she actually covered it because she said God fearing. So that goes back to your original creation with authority. So a man, a real man, should be a man of authority, principles, and morals.
I agree, man. And I think, we really need to harp on that integrity piece. You know what I'm saying? Because that integrity is everything. Like it's a lot of dudes who can be solid in certain situations. And then other situations come and it's a little shaky. You see what I'm saying? It can't, like, being a real man is not a part-time job. It ain't something I can clock in, clock out of type of shit. Like, I got to be that 24/7, regardless of what I'm facing, regardless of what it is. And that's what integrity is at the end of the day. Like, is you going to move the same way, regardless of what situation, arises? So I definitely want to stress that point for sure. But now, hell of a answer from everybody. We're going to pay a couple bills and we're going to get into the next one, man. Matthew with the fireball, Illa back in the building. It's gonna be a good one. And Lucky so fine that never mind.
Thank you.
That Lucky thing. That's incredible, man. Convo and chill with Tommy B with 2 Bar. Real man, stand up and move on principles. That's fact. That is fact. Appreciate you, big dog. Eugene with the fireball. Real man would carry out assignments God has for him. Facts. Appreciate you, big dog. Fatty in the building. What up, G? Say salute to my man Illa the Untouchable. Glad to see you back on these YouTube streets. So, man, appreciate you, bro. And Marcus the Fireball, having a code, having honor, self-respect, selflessness, and having a purpose is one of the things that make a real man. I agree 100%. You also say, welcome back, brother Illa. Appreciate you, G. We got Marcus again. Say great answers from everyone so far, which is very shocking with this topic. What great answers. Appreciate it. Fatty again. Women will change religion if the guy is good enough. This God-fearing BS is a lie for 99% of women. They change teams every time they change a boyfriend. I call cap. He got a point on that one. Big Jizz composition with the 5 Bar. Real man gets up in the AM. Not necessarily a leader. Could just be a hard worker and take care of his responsibilities, even if he don't have a family. True. I agree with that. All right, man. I think that's all of them for now. We're going to go ahead and get into the next line of questioning. I think this may be the earliest that we've ever played one of the videos, man. We're going to go ahead and play one of the videos, and then I'm going to get y'all immediate reaction to it, man.
Man should always make a way. I feel like I'm not going to work my hands to the bones to provide. I'm not going to work 16 to 20 hours a day or a week to provide for my family. You're the man. You have the penis. Go get a job. Get 3 jobs. My man has 2 jobs. Go get 7 jobs and 2 side hustles to buy me the things that I want because I'm a woman.
Look at old face. All right. Like she said, look, man, working her fingers to the bone is not happening, man. Go out there and you get 6, 7, 12 jobs if necessary to get me what I want because I'm a woman. Make it happen. So basically, before anybody gets started, if y'all enjoying the conversation, man, hit the like button. Sometimes it's about to get a little more interesting here. But yeah, those are, that's what she had to say. I'm interested in hearing y'all responses, man. We're gonna start with my dog Illa again.
Yeah, man. You already know what I'm about to say. She's crazy, Another delusional dingbat, just running their mouth, just saying whatever feels good. You know, one thing I noticed that she said was she said the things I need. You
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes,
It was
sir.
about her from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's about what she not, you know, I need him to work. Because the fact that she said she used an extreme example from the beginning just shows you how, you know, a lot of people, male and female, just have to use the most extreme scenario to make their narrative instead of just staying in reality. Who in the world wants their woman to work their fingers to the bone? You know what I'm saying? I don't think no man wants that. No man is going to allow that. You know, to contribute, okay, but to work your fingers to the bone, no. No one's trying to do that. You know what I mean? The fact that, you know, he requires to have all these 3 and 4 and 5, 7 jobs. Now, if she would have cleaned it up, if she would have said, you know, to provide for the family. But she emphasized for what she needs and what she wants. You could just hear about the tone of her voice and the cadence that she's a very immature woman. The fact that she even talks like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's not even how that's probably not how she really even speaks. So she just represents. I'm not going to even let her speak for all women on the panel or all. Most women, a lot of women are like her. You know what I mean? She's an anomaly. I pray to God that women are not that goofy. You know, even though there is a lot, but I don't think she speaks for a lot of women. But she does speak for a certain group, and many to avoid women like this. She's crazy. You know, it's just all about her. It's all about what she wants. There's no effort involved. She's not even talking about if a man does that, what she can do in return. Like, you know, it's just all about her and what she needs. And I think she's absolutely out of her mind.
Your thoughts on
You're
this
muted.
video? Just thoughts on your video when you first seen it, Kayla.
You must have been muted or something.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pardon
I
me,
didn't
man.
hear you. So okay. Initial thoughts when I first saw the eight at the table doing numbers again. Shout out to them. Second thought, because a lot of this stuff is really old that I don't know why it's going viral again. Second thought is she's from an urban area. Her experience is urban. Just in her language and the diction she used, because there's lots of ways to say this. In terms of the principle of what she's saying, I don't see anything wrong with the principle of the matter. Men are providers. They're supposed to provide. If there's something that needs to be provided for, I do believe that they should use their time and energy to do so. Now, as far as what is it for, I mean, he chose that woman, so he know what it is. He's in that relationship. So apparently that works. She said her man got 2 jobs to make sure she got what she wants. So, I mean, ultimately, you know, that also said to me, she's not a mother. She doesn't have kids, so she doesn't have other people to think about. But yeah, like I said, the principle of the matter, I have no issue with. I think that that's what men are supposed to do. I think that women should do less physical labor as possible. Our work is in other spaces, especially once you become a mother. It is a 24/7 job, not a 16-hour job. It is a everyday, all day job when you are a mom. No days off. Even when you're sick, you still expected to take care of people. So yeah, I have no problem with the principle. I just think that the way that it's delivered, you don't get any context. You don't know the question. It's a small period. Her vocabulary isn't extensive. And so the words she chose were, I guess, perplexing. And I'll just leave it at that.
Oh man. Okay. This is perplexing. Is hilarious. I'll go. I think that she comes off as a woman who's just entitled. It's just like, hey, like I'm gonna get what I want. It is what it is. I don't necessarily think I need to put in too much effort to get it. I think I'm attractive. I think, you know, a lot of men want me. And if you ain't willing to do it, somebody will do it. But this is what I demand. This is what I want, and get it done or move around. That aspect I don't have an issue with, because for everybody who's shaking their head and frowning their faces, it's 10 niggas that will do exactly what it is that she asking, and she got one of them. So it ain't like she hiding it. Like, hey, I'm gonna act like I'm this domesticated. I roll up my sleeves type of woman, and then when you get here, I switch it up. That ain't what she doing. She telling you from the door, hey, this is what I expect. Either you're gonna do it or we ain't gonna be. So I feel like, if you're gonna lay your standards out like that. Now, would I be with somebody like that? Hell nah. But it's a lot of dudes who will. You see what I'm saying? Also, it's a lot of men who pride themselves on being able to provide. So, I mean, we in these spaces enough. We hear a lot of these men come up here and talk about, yeah, I don't need my woman to work. I'll marry a woman that work cashier at Walmart. I don't need her to do nothing. She coming into a situation because when you a man, you paying all the bills, you doing this, you doing that, you providing this, you providing that. So if that's the case, and this woman is coming in with that mindset, what is the issue? That's what y'all say y'all willing to do. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? Now, me, again, I don't necessarily believe in that. I'm more intrigued by ambition. Do I need my woman's money? Hell no. But I'm intrigued by ambition. I like to see you out there just accomplishing shit. You know what I'm saying? And and I'm gonna be teaching you the game just in case something happened to me. I can go out here and be gone tomorrow. But if we got kids and we got infrastructure that I done set up, I need you to be able to run the ship until you can find a dude who can come in and take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Take care of, he ain't gonna be able to feel my shoes, but he can feel it somewhat, come in and be able to, you know what I'm saying, maintain the ship and keep it rolling. But you got to have some kind of knowledge. You got to have some kind of grit. You got to have some kind of, fight in you in terms of going out there and making something happen. And that's why I couldn't date a woman who doesn't have those things. But for every one of me, it's 100 niggas that'll give her exactly what she asking for. So I can't blame her for having those requirements. Go ahead, Saida.
I agree with you and Kayla. Actually, my first thought is the delivery sucks. She's horrible. And English is not even my first language. I was like, no, there's better ways to say that. And especially the things that I want. So, but again, we don't know that person. As ignorant as she can be, she could be actually wanting to have a house, a family, kids. We don't know that. I don't know her. I have no idea who she is. But the things I need and the things I want is totally different. Now I want a house. I want, my kids to have education. I need my kids to have education. I need us to be protected. So those are the things that she could have just addressed those things in a different way. But again, just like you said, I don't see anything wrong. I hear all the time that men want to be providers. She's asking for a provider. I don't see the problem in that. And then, it's just that the way that she's saying it, people don't like it. But I guess that's part of, the things that we have to improve as women to try to, communicate better, be more effective communicators and so on. That's it.
Hey, well said. Oh, what was your thoughts when you first seen it, big dog?
Her voice was annoying as hell. So that made the whole delivery worse. I was like, oh my God. I wouldn't be able to hold a conversation with her. Like if we was in person, it'd be short and sweet. I wouldn't even know about everything that she want at that point, because I'd be like, nah. That right there, that's major. That's major. But she got a little point. It's cool. But at the same time, I don't know what they got going on in their household, but as a woman, there's definitely nothing wrong with a man providing and take care of you, but are you holding your end on the bargain on the other side? That's my only thing with that, because that's the fairness of it. Are you just going to be kicking your feet up and doing nothing? Are we hiring maids to do everything? Like we got babysitters and maids. So are you raising the kids, or are the maids and you know what I'm saying? Like, so what does this structure really look like? I value that. Like my woman, I would love my woman to have her, be hands-on, especially when it comes to, raising our family and stuff. I'm not saying you got to wash clothes and fold them and do them all the time, but it's good to know that you can get down and get dirty a little bit. I don't mind doing the same thing. So that, and are you okay with getting an allowance? Because if you're not working, then you get an allowance. And sometimes if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, this week might be a little short. Next 2 weeks might be a little short for you, So that's all I'm saying. Just doesn't think about as women that don't want to do anything and just lay back.
Hey, yo, here's a question real quick. If you hit the lottery tomorrow, could you be with a woman that has that mindset?
No, she don't seem like she want to do
hesitation.
nothing. She don't seem like she want to do nothing. No, I can't.
She didn't say that.
I said
She
she
did not
seems
say
like
it.
she
Y'all don't
didn't.
even
She
have
didn't.
we
She
don't know
didn't.
the
She didn't.
context.
I don't. I'm going off of
Well,
what.
you know what?
going off
One
of
thing
what
that
you
could
saw. I'm just saying.
And if y'all got millions of dollars, I mean, don't you want what you want? Or should you? Okay.
And I don't want that. That's me. So that's okay.
Go ahead, Il.
I just want to add this in real quick, just to tap into what we were talking about earlier about what a real man is. Now, she's going to be with a man that say they have children, her daughter and her mother, her aunts and all that. They're going to say that my daddy was a real man, and he was a man that just did whatever this woman said. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about how you brought up and what type of man you're around, because to somebody, that guy who's a sucker for her is going to be considered a real man to somebody. You know what I mean? I just want to add that.
That's facts.
Wait, but
That's
how
facts.
is he a sucker again? If he's happy,
If you sit, you asked the question, let me answer it. You say, how's he a sucker? He a sucker because if you're sitting down and you're willing to work 3 jobs. This is based on just not a woman wanting a man that provides. I'm talking about based on that clip and that woman and that energy. If you're dealing with a woman like that, who's speaking in that manner, who made it very clear that it's about what I want, and you're willing to break your back just for somebody who just wants stuff like a child, then yeah, you are a sucker. And it's going to be women that's going to uproot that man and put him on a pedestal because they want to redirect the direction of manhood. That's why a lot of suckers is put on pedestals, so women can trick other men into being that, so they can feel like that's being a real man because it fits the narrative that they want in a man. But as other men, we're never going to respect that.
I just think that's strange. You say that to want stuff is acting like a child. Like, what are y'all all working for? What are y'all spending y'all money on? What are y'all working for? What are y'all busting y'all motherfucking ass for to do what with the money?
For me to live, for me to take care, for me to make
what you want,
for me to get the things that I want, and me work for it. For somebody else to say the things I want needs to be provided for another adult, that's a child.
Do you want a woman?
I'm talking about that clip. You can move on.
I'm just saying. You said for the things that you want.
I'm just saying,
having all the money in the world and hanging out with dudes. I mean,
hey,
it don't matter how much
money
you have. It really don't matter how much money you get. It ain't never gonna be as good as having a woman you love next to you. I don't care what you're talking about.
She didn't mention love. She mentioned what she wanted.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go. Hold on, Saida, you had something to say real quick?
I think it's part of the delivery that she's not using the right words, but we're speculating that that's what she's saying at the end of the day, because I want my family to be protected. I want that. It's a need, but I can use the word I want that. I want to have, I want to be a housewife and stay home just because I don't want to have my kid to go to daycare. Those are things. Is it a need? It depends on how you look at it. I think it's just the delivery. The one thing I have an issue with what she said is have 7 jobs, and like that's kind of like, come on, who's gonna do that just because? Again, is the delivery the problem? I don't think that she means it that way, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know her. I'll be worried if she's not taking care of her man while he's working, because she forgot to mention those things. He's going to work, but are you putting lunch for him? Are you packing his food? Like, are you actually catering him and making his life easier so he can go and get the money and provide for you? So yeah, those things were not mentioned, but that's it.
Because
And if
they
you
were
watch your
part of
man,
the question that was asked.
if you watch your man get
Oh
7
no, my
jobs,
podcast work.
do you really know that man?
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Does she love him though?
If he got to go get 7
Did
jobs,
y'all watch the episode?
Hold on. Wait, guys. I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna let you do it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play this clip one more time, just for everybody who may not have got the full gist of it, somebody who might have missed something, and then we're gonna come right to Lucky. Hold on, real quick. We're gonna play it one more time just to get full context.
Man should always make a way. I feel like I'm not going to work my hands to the bones to provide. I'm not going to work 16 to 20 hours a day or a week to provide for my family. You're the man. You have the penis. Go get a job. Get 3 jobs. My man has 2 jobs. Go get 7 jobs and 2 side hustles to buy me the things that I want because I'm a woman.
All right, look, go ahead. What's your thoughts on what she had to say?
Let me just first preference. I had to learn in my life that when people say shit, take what they say. When you start taking words out, saying what they mean, now you are participating in your own manipulation. She said what she said. She also mentioned how I get 16, 20 hours a day, but she said not even a week she ain't doing that. A regular full-time job is 40 hours a week. So that means if she doesn't want to do nothing, she said she don't want to do nothing. That means nothing, nothing. So it ain't maybe she meant to say love. If she valued love, we wouldn't have to worry about her delivery. It would have came from love. But the fact that it came from entitlement, and my first thought was entitled woman who sits there and talks about how she's not about to do nothing at no point in time. That means, I agree with Kayla. I did not see the whole thing, so I'm going off the clip. I want to know what she thinks about if she has kids. Does she still carry that same mind frame, or are we going to think, oh no, she's going to change her position? No, that means that he still comes last, and she's going to expect him to provide all her wants. She didn't say needs; she said wants. So that means that you have to. The needs is already the standard. That means that come with nothing. Can you supply my wants, whatever those are? So the minute you can't do that, where you think you are? You out the door. So I mean, I'm going off what she said. I'm not about to take nothing, put nothing there. She said what she said, and she said her man do it. Hey, more power to him. And if he like it, I love it. That type of one. We can all say the type of thing what's a real man, but one thing I do know is other men decide what men are real. We can say what we want, but we understand the man his value and his esteem come from what other men think. The minute other men think your dude is a lame, you gonna start thinking that, or you gonna start treating him like that because you know it's the truth, and now you operating in the trying to make him feel like he's the hero and he's this, and you trying to prove your man to everybody, which you shouldn't. I believe a real man is gonna walk that way and demand the respect from other men. You're not gonna question it. That's what I think of the clip.
Great answer.
All right, we're gonna go right to Ronin. What's your thoughts on it, big dog?
Shout out to Lucky. That was on point. And you got to find the beauty in thought babble. And that chick right there showed you what it was. Wasn't about no love. It wasn't about your needs. She was outright selfish. And too many confuse the position of being a sponsor with a provider. They can do the same thing, but it's all about context. When we provide things, we provide things that money can't buy. Money's a tool. We use it wisely. Sponsor, you got to come with everything and the receipts. Otherwise, you're disposable. So I would rather have prostate cancer than to have a whole phone conversation with her personally. But I can appreciate the honesty, her telling what she wanted. So, but it's on you. If you choose that, God be with you. But smart men, they see it for what it is and keep it pushing.
Your nose is growing.
Okay, man. SV, what's your thoughts on what the young lady had to say, man?
Okay, so I wrote a whole book about it, but I'm gonna start with Kayla. Kayla, I did not see the whole video, so I'm agreeing with you. But in writing my book, I would say to you that this is not a wife the man that she's addressing belongs to another woman. She's actually the side chick. He gives her what she wants because she is the side chick, and he's fearing that she'll go tell his wife. So that's where the 3 jobs come into play. She's so far away from being a wife, so far away. But I definitely agree that she's resting in her femininity. So I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that part. But the way that she speaks, she's not a wife. And even this particular gig she got going on now, if I'm actually right, it won't be full on because there's no appreciation. There was no modesty. There was no helpmate going on. It was just all about me, me, me. And I don't know of any man, a real man, that would allow that to go on for very long. So I think she's absolutely right in the position that she's in right now, but that I think we might be seeing it a little off. I think she's actually the side chick. She's got that side chick vibe to me.
So can I ask you a question?
For sure.
Can I ask XB a question real quick? I'm sorry. How is she resting in her femininity?
Because she acknowledged that her man was the man. He has the penis. He's the head, basically. He's gonna take care of us. She acknowledged her man. Now, if she was really a digger, it would have been like controlling him. I didn't get that from her. I get that I'm not gonna do this. But again, we didn't see the video. We don't know the question that was actually asked. I did get from her she was a feminine woman, but also lazy. But who would get 3 jobs? I can't see a man getting 3 jobs to take care of a woman unless there was a reason to do so. And the reason to do so would be that he got 2 houses and he got to keep her.
And he's a tender dick.
He got to keep her good over here.
She said he has 2 jobs. A lot of people got 2 jobs.
I thought I heard she say he had 3.
No.
She said, I don't care if he got 7.
My man has 2 jobs.
Oh, 2. I thought she said 3. Okay, wait, 2. Even 2. Most people make do with 1. But if he got 2, that would make it a little, that's a little different. But I thought she said 3. But either way, she's not a wife. Even if she's married, she's not a wife.
If you're the kind of man that's making do, you probably can't afford for your woman to not work.
Oh boy.
She didn't mention that she worked or not. I didn't hear her say that. But she did. What she did say, though, y'all, she did not say she wouldn't work, but she did say, I'm not going to work my fingers to the bone. So that means she might get a job, but the whole demeanor is not of wife. It wasn't. So what could you don't speak?
I just don't think she rested
One of the
femininity.
things, remember last week, I think we talked about this. One of the things that women do is we uplift our men, or we don't emasculate, we uplift them. That would make her husband look crazy saying those things that she said if he was anywhere in the vicinity, right? That wouldn't be, oh, I have a great man and he loves me. She's demeaning him. So
with all due respect, SB, that wasn't femininity. That's edgeless energy. Big difference.
No, it was very much. It's side chick femininity.
I don't think that's feminine. I think it's a difference between being feminine and being girly. I think she expressed a lot of girliness. You know what I mean? I like this.
What's the
that's
difference?
girly.
What's the difference?
To me, to me, girly is just, I like getting my nails done. I like to wear dresses. I like to look sexy. That's girly. Femininity has a place for masculinity. And I don't think she expressed that. I think she expressed the place for masculine resources. But true femininity is a place where there's some type of receptivity for a man to be not only a provider, but to be provided for. And she never mentioned none of that. So I don't think that's femininity at all. I think that's girliness. That's like a man can't be, if I'm just sitting back being brute with my hands on my balls, drinking a beer, am I resting in my masculinity? I'm being super duper manly, but is that really resting in my masculinity? So it's like, I don't think she's feminine at all. I think she's just very girly.
No, absolutely. That would be, you're judging her behavior. I didn't want to judge her behavior per se. I was just saying where she was in her thought process, as in, my husband has the penis. He's going to go out and bring the provision. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to relax in my femininity. I'm not going to work as hard as him, but I don't know the question that was asked. See, we don't know. I'm just talking about what she did in that moment. We can't judge every motion a person does to say, that's not feminine. Oh, that is.
She put it out there. She put it out there. I mean, it wasn't feminine to me. You know what I mean? It's just very girly to me.
You just said she was a side chick.
That's wild.
I feel like she's a side chick.
Judging. That's
No,
a
I
judgment.
mean, no, I'm not condemning her for being the side chick. The side chick she is. I mean,
It's still a judgment, but it's a judgment though. It's still a
and
judgment.
I said we can't judge their every motion. You can judge them if you want to, but what I was talking about is the fact that you said a man putting his hand in his pants. And then her with her girly behavior. I'm not saying don't judge. I judge all the time. I don't condemn people. You have to judge people just to know if you want to hang around them or even entertain them.
Correction, Ella. She's a side wife. Big difference.
Side wife is crazy. All right, man. We're gonna go to Nigel to bring us home on this one, big dog. What was your thoughts when you seen it?
I had a lot of thoughts. I ain't gonna lie, but see that's not the first time I done seen her though. I done seen her on a couple other people's shows, like, so I kind of already knew from her voice what she was talking about though. But she definitely not a wife. The way she talking, I think when she was saying she don't want to work 20 hours a week, that's thing, you know, I kind of already felt that from the energy. I know she do OnlyFans, so that's probably her $20. That's her 20 hours a week right there. For one, but she definitely is. She down for whatever a guy can afford for her, pretty much. Like if he willing to pay, you know, for whatever, she down for it. And as soon as he say no, she out the door. Like that's just obvious. You can tell by her tone off that. She doesn't have any what's the word to use? She just really just don't have I'm gonna say a brain, but she don't have a thought process on like the opposite sex, like what it takes to have 3 jobs. Like her thing is just do whatever it takes to make me happy, and if I'm not happy, then it's an issue, and I'm gonna let it be known. Like, and we all know women like that. It's really no place for women like that, honestly. But you know, you're gonna do, if you can get away with murder, you're gonna do it. You feel me? But it is what it is.
All right, man. That wraps us. We're gonna pay some bills, man. Make sure y'all tap the like. The likes is not where they need to be at. Make sure y'all tap that like button, man. Y'all already know we will wrap this thing. Make sure y'all tap that like button, man. We appreciate everybody for pulling up on us. We're gonna pay some bills, then we're gonna get to the next line of questioning. We're gonna go. Oh, okay, make sure I ain't miss nobody. Marcus Tubal, the lady in the video sounds crazy. Sounds crazy. Hey, man, you be surprised, big dog. Big Mel with the 20 ball. Leave her where she stands. Dog say, I want no parts of it. I agree, man. That hell no. Nah. I couldn't even imagine. Matthew with the 5 ball. How about instead of getting 3 jobs, I just put a life insurance on myself and make you the beneficiary and jump from somewhere high. Let's get right to it.
Oh my God.
Oh my
God.
Amaz with the 2 ball. I appreciate it. Oh, wait, 5. Pardon me. I appreciate you.
3.
Marcus 2 ball. I agree with Illa. Combo and chill. Tommy B. She better be a throat goat talking like that.
Don't matter. Nope.
Y'all, but they ain't good enough though.
Ain't good enough. Nope.
I just take some more.
Definitely ain't good enough.
Nope.
Damn, y'all said the third day.
My boy Kenny, what up, boy?
I swear, I saw someone and I'm like, is it me or I saw someone? And I asked in the chat.
Yeah, nah, bro back here, man. Kitty in the building. Fat boy for life with the 5 ball. Lucky I still got a seat in the Honda. And it got a sunroof, man. Whenever you ready, man.
Car ain't got no roof.
Say friends, say Trill, send me the link. Look here, man. We might send you the link a little later on. Appreciate you pulling up on us. We got Marcus too about good point. Lucky. LeGarrette with the 10 ball. Shout out to the panel. Much love. I appreciate you, big dog, pulling up on us. Marcus, SB, she's resting in her femininity.
She was. And most women think just like her. They just don't let it out their mouth.
They rest
Y'all know that. Y'all know.
That ain't femininity.
It is. It is.
That's bum energy.
Amaz say
she had a good attitude.
He's a bum. Beautiful
Mom
bone.
say she resting in her
Said she
stupidity.
was a side chick.
Not femininity.
Yep.
I appreciate it, Ma.
Jeez.
Fat boy play say Trill looking real light skinned with those links on. Look,
Man, I'm hating so
look
hard.
here, man. Let me make
And
it.
he
Man.
got two like a pit bull.
Let me
Let me
live.
I ain't gonna lie, these motherfuckers heavy as hell, boy. I had to see one of these
It's
motherfuckers
cool.
off
You
on
gotta
shit
deal
over.
with it though. It's a look.
That's a fact. Appreciate you, big dog. Morgan with the 10 ball, just showing love. She ain't even got nothing to say. Appreciate you. It's love. Marcus again say SB, SB, SB.
I'm so sorry, y'all. She's a side chick. And you can judge. I judge all the time, but you can't condemn. Get it right.
That
Hear
is a
what I'm saying?
condemnation.
I think
Everybody
condemnation.
said
She's not.
wrong.
I didn't tell her she was going to hell for what she did. She could be the side chick
I
if she
mean,
wants.
that's an extreme condemnation, but to call somebody a side chick, that's a condemnation.
I said she giving me side chick vibes, and I think that's what she is.
That's a
How is
condemnation.
that? How am I condemning her?
Hey, baby,
I
it's a
think Marcus
condemnation.
Just
more so
tell me.
talking about the
Explain to
femininity
me.
part, though.
Explain to me though. How am I condemning her?
Look up the word.
But you know
What?
what though? Them same girls will tell you that they're totally different from their Instagram.
And they ain't.
All right, man. We're gonna go on and finish repaying these bills. The message with the fireball. This video is why I blame men. 80%, 85% of the time. Dick discipline needs to be taught in school. Dick discipline therapy. Dick is dangerous.
You're right.
Yes.
That's a fact, man. Big G
Motherfucker
is
be
a
leading you in the wrong direction.
bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, big dog.
You don't have no GPS.
Meet GPS.
If
Big
you
G.
follow God,
DPS,
he be your
DPS.
GPS. That's what
Oh,
DPS.
but she says she loved using him for a tool for her benefit.
Benefit.
That's damn sure what it sounds like. Now we ain't got context, but if I had to gamble my monties, I'm putting it on that. But again, we appreciate everybody for pulling up on this, man. Make sure y'all tap that like button. Everybody that donated, appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead on to the next one, man. Are women creating a space for men to be the real men that they say that they want? What I mean by creating a space, it seems to me as if a lot of women contradict themselves in this sense, right? They'll say, hey, I want a man that's a leader, go getter, man that could put me in my place, man that could handle me, man that could do this, man that could do that. But it seems when the man tries to do those things, he faces a bit of pushback in terms of implementing his infrastructure, implementing his style, things of that nature. So that's one side of the argument. Other side of the argument is women to say, if you was a real man, I wouldn't be able to dictate how you move. You're gonna move how you move regardless, right? You move based on moral code. Like you don't let nobody tell you nothing, right? So you let little old me dictate and control your moves. That's what women, a lot of women will say to that, right? But fortunately, we have amazing panelists that we're gonna be able to unpack this thing. So are women creating a space for a man to be a man, or is it their responsibility to do so? We're gonna start off with Luck on this one.
Of course not. I think we say this over and over that a man, in order to assert that, you have to be prepared to lose that person and get rid of them, even when you don't want to. So every time they test that limit, and women, we test. I think people test people, but I'm gonna just speak as a woman. There are tests. So every single time we able to test you and get a little bit past, you are losing some respect. Now we may say, oh, we like that he's doing all these things for me, but at the end of the day, if we can just dictate you and point you and run you around, there is no respect there, because at some point you're supposed to have a stern sense of presence so that she doesn't even feel comfortable doing that. So I think he has to create his own space for her to be a woman. A woman doesn't create a space, she comes into a space. So if she has to come into an empty space and then dictate what you need to be doing as her man, you already out of order, you her bitch. So
Hey man, look at me cooking, dog. You gotta give her credit. Oh,
look at that was disrespectful.
That was rough.
Hey,
that was real
disrespectful for you to come in thinking you're supposed to get this type of woman and you ain't that type of man.
That's how you be an elegant asshole. Stand on it.
I agree.
Stand on it.
That's real. Oh, are women creating a space for a man to be a man, in your opinion, or is it their responsibility to do so?
No, it's not at all. Yeah, Lucky crushed that too. But yeah, as men, we have to be who we are, and they either riding with us or they not. You know what I'm saying? Along the right way, of course. But yeah, just stand on your principles, having your morals, your backbone. Like you're gonna have those tough conversations. You're gonna have to say no. She's not gonna like it, but she's gonna get over it. You still love her. You still gonna spoil her. You still gonna do all those things, but you're gonna have to be able to put your foot down. And so yeah, women don't need to necessarily create that space. We have to make that space. We got to kick the door down and say that, look, this is what it is. This is how I'm feeling. This is where we're going. Whatever it is. But we have to, dictate that type of environment and can't let the women, pour all that stuff on us because, a lot of because we love them so much and care about them so much, we tend to fold a little bit more. And it's only for them. We won't do it nowhere else but for them. But we got to make sure that it's all the way around. You know what I'm saying? Even family members, friends, we got to treat our women the same way. We give them some benefit of the doubt or at times, but for the most part, we got to stand on our own and make our own space for that. So yeah, that's what we got to do today, especially just the being vocal and just everything, just vulnerable. We got to create that space and just not care about we should care about who we do it with. And I think that's the problem too. Men will open up to the wrong type of woman. And then she ends up using it against you. And now you're upset. You can't trust no woman. So you got to be selective on who you open it up with.
I agree 1,000% with that one. Saida, are women creating a space for a man to be a man, or is it even their responsibility to do so?
I actually agree with Lucky. It was strong, but it's true, to be honest. But you know what? So how can I say it? Sometimes I hear and questions that have been asked in the past comes to mind sometimes. And sometimes you ask for a woman to have covered her basic needs. And for a man to protect or provide for a woman, he must have his basic needs covered, at least his basic needs covered. So am I allowing him to do that, or he's supposed to have those things too? Because that's also creating space for growth as a man. Am I supposed to create that space, or he's supposed to be there? Because you judge on the other side like, oh, a woman should be ready to be a wife. She's not supposed to be a wife once she gets the ring, but before. But then the man is supposed to be a husband before he gets married, not after he proposes. So creating the space, to me, also kind of like, I have to be fair. I'm a very neutral person. So I want to create the space for someone if are workable areas, if it's things that are workable. But if it's something that I feel like, no, for example, I'm going to be honest. I know that probably alcoholics can be worked around and they can be, but I said from a long time ago, I'm not dealing with an alcoholic. So it doesn't matter if that person is willing to make that work and get fixed. To me, it's hard to go in that direction and accept someone that drinks. It's hard. It would be very hard. So I rather not deal with that. So that's why I just talk to men that were not drinkers or smokers, because I'm not willing to deal with that. So am I creating the space for these men that drink and blah, 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 blah? No, but I'm not willing to put up with that. So I stand on my ground and say, I don't want that. Now, for my men, and I'm going to be a little personal, he needed to, grow a little bit in an area, specific area, and I'm not going to mention what. But I allowed this space for him. We were just friends. We were just talking. And I said, hey, I think you need to fix this. I need to work. Not like that, but, in a way. And he did. So I allowed this space for his, for his growth. So I'm saying from my space, yes, but no, not all women do that.
I say that, no. Women are not creating a space. Women, I don't like saying modern women. Women in this era are not creating a space for a man to be the man, but I also believe it's not their responsibility to do so. Women gonna get away with what they can get away with, man. Let's just call it what it is. Just like her in that clip when she say, "I need a man that's gonna do what he got to do to buy me what I want." So again, there are men who are willing to sign up for that, right? But it's that man's responsibility. That's why I can't really blame her for that, Because if you're coming into that and you signing up for that, then that means that you don't have an infrastructure. She's dictating your moves. That shouldn't be the case. You see what I'm saying? It should be, as a man, you come in there with infrastructure. This is how we're gonna do things. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna willingly accept your counsel. I definitely respect it, else you wouldn't be here, right? But at the end of the day, I got the final decision on how this thing goes. And if you don't agree with that or whatever, then you just got to move around, because reality is that if things go wrong, I take majority of liability here. That's how it goes. It's like the example I always say all the time. You'll never see a family that's homeless, just got kicked out of their house. The mama, the wife, and 3 kids on the street. People who walking by seeing that are never gonna walk up to the woman and say, "I cannot believe you got your family out here like this." I've never seen it, and we never will, right? So if the relationship goes bad, liability is on me. So with that, I got to dictate how this thing goes. I got to set the infrastructure. I got to create the space as for how this thing is going to go. And as a woman, you come in and you add to it. You know what I'm saying? And then we can build something amazing. But if you come in and you trying to dictate how I move, I'm just going to get rid of you. It ain't even a conversation. We ain't going to go back and forth. We ain't going to do none of that. But that's part of, as a man, setting the tone, setting the infrastructure. And that's your responsibility. And if a woman affects the way you do that, you got to look in that mirror, man. You got issues that you got to sort out, because that shouldn't be happening, regardless of how difficult she make it. If she makes it difficult, replace her. It's as simple as that. But, that's just my thoughts. Kayla, what you think on it?
Are women creating a space? That's the question, right? For men to be men?
Yeah, but are women creating a space for a man to be a man, or is it even their responsibility to do so?
I don't think it's a woman's responsibility to create a space to be a man. I feel like men that are real men, their behavior shows that, and people kind of just fall in line. So, for example, if we're taking it to like a relationship space, for me personally, the more you are a real man and your decision making is top tier, it's like it's not even voluntary. I'm like, that's not good to me. Like, I don't know. It's something about a man being a man that just pushes you into a feminine space. You don't need to make the space for him to do that. That's just something that he does because he's a real man, and you kind of and then it ping pongs from there. I think it's weird for men to be requesting space to be men, because then there's a disconnect in terms of who you are. I don't know if that's in your space, in your spirituality, in your gender, but you're not fully like connected with who you are if you're asking a woman for space to be a man. I don't even I mean, I guess Saeda's example kind of brought it to me, because I'm like, what I don't understand. But I do think it's important once you get into that, the relationship is solid. It's no longer new. We in it. You know what I mean? I do think it is important to have consistent rebalances, because sometimes things can get out of balance when you have kids running around the house. I don't believe in gender roles. We getting shit done around here, okay? For the most part. So I feel like sometimes when all of those things start to get like, this is per a married person's advice, when things start to get like, it's marriage, it's life, it's family, sometimes there is a recentering or rebalancing that does need to happen in terms of you providing him more space in certain areas, him providing you more space in certain areas. But overall, like in dating and like, no, I don't think it's a woman's responsibility.
All right, well said, well said. Ill, so thoughts on it, big dog? Are women creating a space for a man to be a man, or is it even their responsibility? Hold on, you muted, bro. You muted.
Oh, you can hear me now? No, I don't think women create that space at all. You know what I'm saying? I think when you say create that space, what does that mean? To me, creating that space doesn't mean I'm gonna make something out of nothing. I'm gonna make you I'm going to make you be a man. No, I think that's what a lot of women are saying, but I don't think that's what that means. I think when I create a space, I'm thinking men are talking about creating a space of receptivity. These women are not receptive. It's easy to submit to his money. It's easy to submit, like, because I hear a lot of financial, I hear a lot of, structural things. And yeah, that's easy to submit to that. Of course, a woman going to submit to a man paying all the bills. But will you submit to his outlook? Will you submit to his difference of opinion? Will he do? Because I hear a lot of people like to throw around a man of God. What does that mean? What God? Who's God? There's a lot of gods. There's a lot of different spiritual views. What if your man has a different one? Would you submit to that? Would you change your? Would you say, you know what, baby, I never looked at it like that. Let me check that. Most women will not do that. They submit to a man that fits their narrative of a man. And that leads to another question. What type of man is she talking about? Is she talking about her grandfather? Is she talking about her uncle? Is she talking about the dude she grew up with in the hood? What is the prototype for the man that she feels like I need to fit? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, no, women are not creating that space, because I define creating that space by being receptive. And I don't think women are that receptive today.
I said, Nigel. So thoughts on the big dog? Are women creating a space for a man to be a man, or is it even their responsibility?
I don't think it's their responsibility, but I honestly don't expect the woman to create a safe space if I ain't creating a safe space. Honestly, that's where it started. The man's supposed to create a safe space first for her to be able to allow him to do what he's supposed to be doing. Obviously, his leadership is going to dictate, the type of space she give him, but I don't really think that in this era, a lot of women are like starting off talking to people, talking to guys, giving them a space. It's kind of like they're expecting that space to be earned, if that makes sense, before the woman is allowing herself to be, in her femininity. I'm gonna keep it at that.
I agree. SV, all women creating a space for these men to be the men that they want them to be, or is it their responsibility even?
So I'm going with the word that we've been using as far as the real man. The real man comes ready. But I don't think the women are creating that space, but we definitely should, because for me, that's a space as in making it better, following his plan, allowing him to guide you, to lead you. But are we doing that? No, a lot of times we want things our way, or we just don't understand it, or we're not ready to submit. So yes, a man does not need to have a woman. He needs to be already a man when he comes. And no, a woman is not creating that space.
Let me ask you a question, SB. What's wrong with a woman starting off with creating that space?
Oh, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I want them to. I just think a lot of times.
About initially, though.
What's wrong?
About initially, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. It should be that way. I think a woman meets a man that we're calling a real man. She should definitely get on his plan, and they should build together. So that would be her creating a space for him to be the head, the authority, the person to lead her throughout life in marriage. Mm-hmm. So I agree with that totally. I think that should be done that way.
Can we say a real man has a plan? And if you don't have a plan, you're not a real man?
Right.
Okay.
But it's something too. I want to speak to what Illa said. We got to check on compatibility though, because if y'all don't have the same beliefs, y'all shouldn't even be talking about creating spaces. That's
but my thing is this though: if the man is the head, and if he is the one that's whatever you believe, religious women say that a man gets his instruction from God or from a higher power than himself. So if that's the case, if that higher power led him to another outlook, who are you to say that it's not right?
I wouldn't say it's not right. It'd be right for him. It just may not be right for me. Me and him got to believe the same thing. We have to have the same foundation.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a lack of that's no problem. But what you're speaking to is the lack of trust of Black women for men to lead them spiritually, because everything we think we may know about religion or may know about spirituality isn't even correct. That's why even in the Bible, and I'm not religious, I don't deal with the Bible in that degree. But even in the Bible, it has a lot of verses where it says certain women, they say at certain times where a woman should be quiet. And I don't think that, but the Bible says that. So it's like, if the man is the one that's given the mantle of spiritual leadership, maybe he can guide you somewhere spiritually that you may not have been before because you think you know what it is. So I feel like that still limits the parameters and the authority of what men can possibly bring to the table that women still give pushback on. So that's why I feel like when it comes to so-called allowing creating this space, you have to let go of what you think you know and say, you know what, baby, I'm gonna trust you that God is the man, that whatever God has told you, maybe that's the case. Because you can have two different men. One can be very religious and he go to church every week and he's disrespectful in the home. Then you got a man who don't go to church at all and he's the example of what being Christ-like is. So what does believing in God and going to church, what does that really mean if you're not living it?
Well, as an adult woman, you have to already have had a relationship with whatever you believe. And you're not supposed to, you can't be with a person that don't have that same belief system as you. You can't, it won't work.
What's belief? Faith without works is dead. I could believe what you believe and still not live nothing. And I cannot believe what you believe and still live the epitome of what should be believed.
Then you don't really believe it.
You're judging behaviors. So the word is what it is.
But behavior is proof of what I believe. So what is belief without behavior that follows that?
But if you believe nothing, then you're free to do whatever it is you want to do. If you believe nothing, if you don't have a belief system, then you believe nothing. And I don't know.
I don't believe in God. So if I'm not a Christian, I don't believe in if I don't believe in going to church and being a Christian and and all that, but I live my life in an upstanding manner. Why does my belief matters if I'm living it?
It's based on because the belief in God gives you a moral. So I kind of got what you were saying earlier, but I don't know anymore. I think that it sounds like to me, you can correct me, the idea of what most women think is God is already a soft man. So if it's a perception as though he's this grace, I can do whatever and he's gonna give me grace, kind of like they want a man when they say that follows God. But I think the disconnect is you can't truly believe in something if your actions don't carry out, because if we're going to bring up the Bible, the only way that he can judge your heart is based on your actions. So what we know you love is based on what you constantly practice. How do you get best at? And so if you can't say I believe in God, but everything you do is whole behavior and it's nothing in line with a moral. So I think believing is one thing, but your actions are always going to show what your heart is desiring, if that makes sense. So you could not believe in God, and whatever you believe in spiritually could be aligning you. It should align you towards the woman that believes like you. If she's a woman that believes in God of the Bible, then whatever she believes in would never get her in a direction to meet a man that's against that, because she's only open to whoever thinks the same way spiritually. So I don't think those two people would even align unless you're just a person that do lip service to say I'm a Christian, but you're not living that life, because you wouldn't be around people who aren't even spiritually alike.
And I agree with that. But to give you a little contrast to that, there's been situations where I know fellas who will meet a sister who they'll like the man, they'll like the way he lived, they like how he carried himself. And she'll say, are you a Christian or you a Muslim, whatever religion? And he'll say no. And she'll lose interest in him, even though he checks off all the character boxes of how he actually lives. But because he doesn't want to attend Sunday service with her, she won't talk to him. To me, that makes no sense.
I do think it's go ahead, SB.
No. Go ahead, Kayla. Go ahead.
All I was gonna say is I think it's a fallacy when we say that people who are Christian shouldn't hang out or be around people who aren't of their same faith. That's literally the opposite. Jesus used to go hang out with people who weren't of his faith. That's the whole point, is to bring people to Christ. It's the people that know nothing, that only they care about religion. They don't care about the spirituality of believing in God and in that way, because if they did, they would know. Obviously, your inner circle needs to be people who can, help you spiritually, but it's saying that you're never going to be around other people that don't, share the same faith. I just don't believe that, because I've seen people, go from not believing anything to like going to in high school, going to church with me. I had a really fun church, and anyway, on topic, but yeah, I do.
So do you think Jesus hung out with them, or he was let's go there. His light and who he was attracted them because they wanted change? Or did he say, hey, I want to hang out with them? It was what attracts them. So if you're walking in that said light and you're walking in God's purpose and you're walking in the spirit, like Galatians says, you won't endure the flesh, then you would know I'm going to attract all kind of people. Yes, but just going to look what happened if you're going door to door. You can't just make people convert. They have to be attracted to that, is what I'm saying.
Right. And the only way you can attract them is by being around them.
No, but that's real dangerous because we, as women, we are subject. No, I'm not. Listen, we're not talking about us at all. I'm just going based on, I'm talking about a woman marrying a man. It's influence. If you marry a man that could be an atheist or whatever, some type of religion, then if you're a Christian, you can't do that because your belief systems are totally different. That's like a train wreck. Why would you bother to do that? But we weren't talking about religious, but I think Illa was talking about religion, Kayla. I wasn't talking about religion. I'm talking about a relationship.
We can not too much on that. You know,
yeah,
we can keep it.
I'm just saying a relationship with your creator. You have to know. And if a person doesn't give reverence to their creator, then I would like to have a conversation with them to say, okay, so tell me how you got here.
No, I agree. I could find it hard to settle with someone that doesn't have the same belief system. I do think that is important. So, you know.
But having a relationship with your creator, having a relationship with your creator, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm a Christian? Does that mean I'm a Muslim? Does that mean I'm a Buddhist? What does that mean?
It doesn't mean it's having a relationship with God. See, you're the person, you're trying to, I think that's what you're saying. You're trying to now put it into a box. You're trying to do that, Ella, by associating it with a religion. I didn't do that. But that's what
most people, but you're not doing it, but I'm not talking, I'm talking about you, but not really to you. I'm using you as a point of reference. I'm talking to the audience. So if you say you're a Christian, it's like, what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like when most people, when they talk about a man of God, let's just be real. When you're talking to black people and say a man of God, they're not thinking about nothing but the Bible. That's what our people associate morality and divinity with, is being a Christian. If we're going to be real,
that is a way of life. That's what the Bible is.
It's a way of life. It's not the way of life, because the Bible can be actually broken down and melded with.
Maybe it's not yours.
And the point is,
I know it's not mine. I know it's not mine. I know it's not mine. All religions.
But overall, you pick a person where y'all don't have these debates because y'all on the same page about whatever it is.
That's true, but I'm saying, but these debates,
it don't matter. You and the person that you pick, y'all should just be on the same page about.
That's cool. But I'm talking. That's cool. I'm talking to the people. So I know in real life, there's a lot of people that I know, male and female, that have everything going together well, but they disagree on beliefs and money. So there's a lot of people who could be with a potential good partner if they had a greater understanding of these two concepts. Some people do me. So I mean, hey, maybe I don't know. When I grew up, I seen a lot of women lose out on a lot of good men because of that church they went to, and they was married to that cross, and they have no man. So what I'm saying is, there's a lot of women who lose out on good men because he didn't come out his mouth and say, "I believe in Jesus." He lived right. He carried himself right. He moved in a righteous manner. He had respect from his community and his peers. But she let the fact that he wasn't saved disqualify her from dealing with him. That's a problem in the black community when we talk about how we can't get along. But that's just my opinion. Who am I?
All right, y'all, real quick, man. We're going to get to... Oh, hold on. You want to say something, Nigel?
Yeah, I was going to say, because I ain't going to talk about the religions. I was going to just talk about what he was talking about, the pushback. I think the reason why women are pushing back for the most part is because they didn't have that safe space in their previous relationship, though. And so they're kind of looking for that with their new partner, but it's either they never had it or they don't know how to provide a safe space for them, man. They don't know the proper way, and I feel like that's what that pushback coming from, not knowing how to provide a safe space, but also what's the proper way, not having the empathy with your partner to create that safe space is the most important part, though.
I agree with that.
Minus the relationship.
All right, Ronin, take us on, man. Then we go get to paying these bills. Go ahead, Ronin. What's your thoughts on it, man? Are women creating a space for a man to actually be a man, or is it their responsibility to even do so?
Actually, it's a man's responsibility to create a space, but it's on her to either respect it or disrespect it and get out of there. So, my question is, how can you really stand up for you when you won't allow him to stand up to you? Because in most cases, you'll have these puppet relationships to where he looks like the man in public. But, you know, a chick has her arm firmly between his ass cheeks behind the scenes, telling him what to say, how to express himself, how to move, how to think, things of that nature. And we've seen that in real time. So in most cases, no. But if you have a woman who's really solid and respects that man's space and sees that she doesn't take everything or the tone and argument, a delivery type of situation, she sees where he's going and trusts his leadership, they tend to get a lot further than most. So that's what I see.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, man. Appreciate y'all answers on that one. Everybody was, it's a spirited conversation like I thought it would be. We're about to play a clip right after this that I feel like is going to get even a bit more spirited. But before we do, Big G is composition 2 balls. She love. Oh wait, hold on. I read that one. My bad. Maz, the 5 ball. Martin Lawrence said it best. I understand it, but I don't condone it. Antoine Guthrie, the 5 ball. Trill giving New Jack City. Nino, tell us sit up before I make change, man. Shout out to appreciate you, big dog.
Shout out to Trill Money.
Hey, man. Marcus, the 5 ball. To the question, yes or no. It depends on the woman.
True.
That's a fact. Bro came back and said, Lucky coming brutal tonight, and I love it. Fact, man. Lucky on point tonight. Back to the 2 apartment. How can we clone Lucky? Marie's mentality. Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Amaz, definitely before I make change vibes. Coco, the 5 ball. Man comes to me and say, hey, women, have you created my space for me to be a man? Adam came first. A man should already embody the space of a man. I said, Nene with the 5 ball. I ain't even got a mess. She just wanted to show love, man. I appreciate you, Nene. Marcus, 2 ball. Illa is cooking. Fact, bro, on point always, man. Appreciate you. Message, the 5 ball. It ain't on her at all. You just chose wrong, my guy. It's just that simple. Discipline, fellas. I know it's hard, but think with the other head. It's facts. Hey, yo, that dude sound like Team Fatty with the 5 ball. You can believe in nothing and still be a great man. Actions are bigger than words. Church is full of terrible people. That's a fact. That is a fact. That's why I stopped going. But that's neither here nor there. Appreciate you, big dog. Practitioner with the 5 ball. He's basically saying you should convert to his religion. Nene with the 5 ball. Real man is creating his own space by any means, and he won't allow no one to compromise that space. I enjoy watching y'all. We appreciate you pulling up, man. Love. Fatty again say, we got you, big dog. Be a great man. Actions rule the world, not words. I agree. There's so many people preaching what they ain't living, man. That's another conversation for another day. Big Mill, 20 ball. Lucky talk that shit. Kayla, eye expressions to y'all answers is priceless. Thanks, man. Rick in the building. My dog. What up, bro? He say, get the likes up. I Lucky and SB. Aloha from Hawaii.
Hey, shout out to Waikiki.
Did you hear what I said?
Go ahead.
My boy out there doing his thing, man. Salute to Rick, man. Y'all heard it, man. Make sure y'all tap that like button if y'all ain't had a chance to. If y'all enjoying the conversation. We appreciate everybody in Crusader Nation pulling up, man. Appreciate y'all. Coco, with the 3 ball. Just wanted to show love. Appreciate you. Kenny T in the building.
Don't read that. No.
Literally.
No.
Team thighs out.
You gotta turn the camera now.
No, pause.
He say pause. Hey,
Big pause.
Yo.
You wanted the attention on them.
No, we didn't.
We will not broadcast. This is a PG. This is a family show. Andre. Hell no. Andre, the 5 ball. Not a Diaz to be a man, but a place of peace. So I can increase myself if you're going to be there. Facts. Those should be the dynamics. The man should be. You should be coming and adding to what the man already got set up. Is basically what he's saying. And I definitely agree with that. Appreciate you, big dog. All right. Let's get to the next video, man. We've been speaking about a real man. Miss Ayanla Van Zant. She has some things to say. in regard to this, to the plight of the real man. We're gonna play this clip, man, and I want to get y'all take on it.
I struggle with that still, just because
Wait a minute, wrong one. Pardon me.
Take two.
What? She's gonna say something about a real man. Oh my God.
No.
Ooh, chill out, Saida. Chill out, Saida. Saida throwing slugs at my boy.
Hey,
not too much.
Hey.
Not too much.
Hold on. I thought I had the video queued up, but I'm gonna queue it up. But in the meantime, I got another question while I get this video queued up. I don't know what happened, man. We gotta hire some kind of assistant or something here to get these things in order.
I'm gonna give Gabby a Father's Day card.
Hey, man. We got a quote.
Tell him to put video.
We got the doctors. We got the
Right.
doctors.
Kenny can do something, can't he? Anything but be the eye candy of the show. All he care about is showing everybody his thighs. Work. All you say is
somebody got to be the sex symbol. Somebody got to do it.
Worried about some food.
Somebody got to do it.
This is not a safe space.
Talk about you, bro. He ended up leaving the room when y'all said that.
He said, well, who is it? Who is he like?
No, I said Kayla said he the Beyonce.
Beyonce at a group.
Kenny, can you make yourself useful? Can you cue the video? Can you do something?
He ain't trying to hear it.
No.
Lord have mercy, man.
I'm already on this gym. See, these men like these women, they don't want to do nothing.
Look at my boy say he on that gym right now. He ain't functioning properly. What that? That's another conversation.
Where he on that whiz?
He's intoxicated.
Bombay, he said.
Bombay. That's Sapphire.
Yes,
oh,
sir.
he's a gin guy.
He on that sauce.
He's some of everything.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. But all right, we're gonna this is a quote.
Bye, Tiana.
Y'all trash. Y'all trash.
Tatiana is crazy.
Tatiana. Wow.
I didn't even see that shit.
I'm sorry.
This is not a safe space.
That's your new name, bro.
That is insane.
He's earning his share.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's not getting
down.
Right,
T stand for
Pardon us, man. Pardon us.
There it is.
All right. The quote is: "Men today lead, but modern women refuse to follow." What are y'all thoughts on that? We're gonna start with.
Well, it says men today want to lead,
right?
Not lead, want to lead, but not lead. It's in your question. Paying attention here.
That's valid. That's valid. Men today want to lead, but modern women refuse to follow. They make it difficult. They out here getting degrees. They out here making a lot of money, things of that nature. So when that man come into the space, she looking at him like, do what? No. So what's y'all thoughts on that, man? Men want to lead, but women refuse to follow. We're going to start with Nigel on this one. What's your thoughts, big dog?
I think the way modern women think is because how things used to be. Like back in the day, they didn't have no choice but to let that man lead because a lot of women wasn't making as much money as they are now. So what's messing men's minds up is that the fact that they don't really know how to lead because the women that they're dealing with making just as much money as them. And so that's the kickback. And then, with modern women these days, the rules are just totally different, like than what it was back in the day. I think as men, we just gotta adjust with time, but also be able to. I think women just gotta have more empathy with what men are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. If they have more empathy with that, then they will be more prone to let them lead. But nowadays, modern women cutthroat. They don't care about what it takes for a man to get to a higher stature because everything is mostly given to them because of how they look. So I feel like if with that mindset, you already set yourself up for failure,
Real shit, Illa. Men today want to lead, but modern women refuse to follow. What's your thoughts on that quote, bro?
I mean, just go back to what we were saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like he made a good point about Nigel made a good point about women make a lot of money today. So if we're making the same amount, or sometimes you're making more than me, the traditional ways of leading is obsolete now, because usually leading is economically. I'm providing a roof over your head. I'm able to pay for things that you're not able to pay. So the fact that women can match me economically or succeed me economically, where is the vacuum for me to lead? And it goes back to what I said: intellectually, which is spiritually, which is politically, which is culturally. That's the space left for men to lead in, because the money thing has been xed out, because we making the same amount of money, even though according to the data, men are making more, but a lot of women are making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely more closer than ever been. So if we got the same amount of money, where is the room for me to lead? Because it's not economically anymore. It has to be in how you think, how you view things, your beliefs. That's the only room left for us to have any type of influence. And as you can see, there is no room to lead there. So I feel like a lot of doors are being closed of where a man can lead, and the only places left for us to lead, they don't want to do it.
It's Kayla. Men today want to lead, but the modern woman refuses to follow. What's your thoughts on that?
Kayla.
I'm sick of niggas complaining. I'm sorry. It's not even that, because that's not what even, whatever. Men want stuff. Men got wants. Men want to lead, but women won't let them follow. I just personally feel like men that lead, they just lead. They don't want for leadership. They just lead. They are just leaders. People naturally follow. Actually, real leaders, you could even, you not even like, whatever. I'm not going to give an example. It don't even matter. But I don't feel like men that are real leaders want to lead. They just lead, and the people that follow them are the people that follow them. I do think that because of certain things that go back to even systematically in the Black community, I do think there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of people who, you know, trusted and allowed leadership, and they picked the wrong one for that. Applying good principles to the wrong niggas will put you in a bad place, a real bad place. Okay. So I do think that just a lot of women are leery, and now that they can make a way for themselves, I think that they always just, people just always just, okay. So when I was growing up, I literally grew up in the suburbs where you could go across the street. Like, we knew everybody that lived on our street. Everybody. We go across the street and ask for a cup of sugar. Like, life is just different. Like, anybody can be setting you up. Like, I don't know. Like, life is just different, where I feel like people are less tend to let trust and allow. People have been through so much trauma. If it wasn't your mama, it was your college boyfriend. It was your first girlfriend. I don't know. You know, I just feel like there are a lot of factors in place, and why it's so important for a man to just show you leadership, period, with actions and follow through. You talking about it, you wanting it, you trying. I don't like either of the three of those. None of those work. Only thing that works is actions and follow through. So I feel like if you're displaying that, again, she will just naturally be like, you know, my man got it. I don't even know where we're going. You feel me? But that is just something that he naturally is. And, you know, the right one will follow. And that's all that really matters.
Yeah, I think that, for one, that it's a lot of truth to that. I think women in general today just have a lack of trust for men's leadership. That's just, you know, for whatever reason. And it could be a multitude of reasons. You know, the dad who might have been supposed to been leading wasn't in the crib. And then, you know, the moms is dating dudes who are not worthy of leadership. He coming in, smoking weed, gang banging, might be selling a little weed here, there, you know, something on the side, doing this thing. These are not great examples of leadership, right? But, you know, a lot of women are fall susceptible to that because they like to do it or whatever. So she seen her mama doing that, dating untrustworthy dudes. Her dad wasn't in the crib. She didn't have no, you know, male structure to just be like, okay, yeah, this is a this is a real leader. So when I'm out there looking for a man's leadership, I'm gonna have trust that it can even happen because I've seen it. A lot of women ain't seen it, right? And then on top of that, they're being, they forced to go out here and sustain their own lifestyle in terms of a like comfortable level, not just getting by, like going out here getting 2-3 degrees, doing what they got to do. So by the time they run into a man, I'm not just falling into your leadership. I ain't never seen that shit go successful in my life. Prove it to me that you can lead. So it's a 20-foot barbed wire fence that a lot of men, or most men, are going to have to climb over to earn her trust in terms of you leading. So there is hesitation there. It is, but at the end of the day, depending on the woman, it is warranted, because that's just like put us in the same situation. If I ain't never seen no great woman, or no marriage that was productive and wasn't full of chaos and full of a bunch of divorces around me and shit. When I leave out the crib, I ain't gonna have the most optimistic view on marriage. That's just reality. Like, and you can't expect me to. This is what I seen. This is what, this is the type of shit that groomed me into the person that I am. Right. But oftentimes you run into somebody to where it's and even if you run into somebody dope, it's gonna be a push and pull. It's gonna be a tug of war type of thing. Until again you prove that you're capable of leading, then she'll tend to fall in line. That barbed wire fence is slowly start to come down. But do I feel like there's in the general sense that most women are not willing to follow a man's lead? I would say yes, because a lot of them have not seen successful leadership. That's my take on it. Go ahead, Sayeda. What's your thoughts on it? Men today want to lead, but modern women refuse to follow. What's your thoughts?
I read it. It says they want to lead, but they're not doing it. So I agree with you. So when you go to a company, or HR is hiring for management positions, they don't just go with, "Oh, you say you are a manager? Show it, prove it. Where is the proof? And do you believe that all the managers are good leaders and good managers? No, they're not. Just because they're in the position, so they have to prove it to you. There's some people that is not actually good to fit in the position, but they already have the position. I actually made a post yesterday from a book that I was reading, The Power of Discipline. And it says that before you help anyone or lead anyone, you must lead yourself. And I have a question for this for all of you, because I always hear that women make a lot of money. And as you know, I'm not in the US. So if women have made it to get careers and pay for their own houses and all this, why are men not doing this? Or what's the problem with men? What are the difficulties that men are going through? It just makes me wonder, like, what's going on with men, why they're getting stuck or behind, and women are actually moving forward in their life in this aspect. I don't know. I'm honestly ignorant about this, because I really don't know why you say like women have the opportunity to get degrees, but are men getting degrees? Or because that's what I'm understanding, that men are not getting degrees as much as women are doing it. So I'm like, why is this? If a man is supposed to be doing that, why are they getting stuck?
You want to answer to that?
I mean, there's a number of factors. There's some social economic factors, but they're also just bad choice factors. America's the place where one bad choice can like ruin your opportunities, any foreseeable ones to come for sure, especially, people in the system and things of that nature. So, I mean, it's just, there's a number of factors, but ultimately it's your choices.
But it's not even that. It's like education is important to some people. Of course, education is very important, but you got to think there are a lot of men who are here getting trades. I've said this before, 18, 19, 20, you coming out making $80,000+. All you got to do is go to school for 6 months, 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Like sit in, learn it, you go to skill. So a lot of men thinking like, why would I invest 4 years into something and start out in debt and I got to pay it back and I got to get myself out of this hole when I'm 19, 20, come out making a decent amount of money and I can start my future right here. You can be a barber. Like men out here really getting money. Entrepreneur, you cutting grass, doing lawn service, you doing stuff on, architectural stuff. Like it's many ways that men can get money, not needing a degree. So a lot of men early kind of see that and just kind of go that route instead of just going to school and finishing.
Yeah, because not having a degree doesn't mean you're not making money. You know,
Right.
it's about just getting a skill that a degree may require or not. I know a lot of women who got their bachelor's in African American studies and they work at Walmart. So just having a degree doesn't mean you are successful. You know what I mean? It just means nine out of 10 times. They always say women are the most educated. Okay, but I think a lot of women are the most indoctrinated. You know what I mean? They think that the only way to get money is to get a degree. And if you ever worked in corporate America like I do, I don't know if other men have, corporate America is not that receptive to an objective man of any race. So corporate America is very lenient and very open and very receptive more to women in the workplace than men. So it's not about a lack of effort from men. Men have realized the game of America and the games they play. So a lot of men have chosen to go other routes besides just the orthodox educational system, because corporate America and the educational system is not really receptive for an ambitious man as much as it is for a woman who will take more direction and take more can take a little bit more in that environment than a man can. It's hard. A man's not going to do just anything you tell him to do because you tell him to do it if it doesn't make sense to him. A lot of women, they're file the paper, they'll do whatever it takes sometimes to work in corporate America. So they're more advantageous to find success in it. And women are also considered double minorities. So they have a double chance of getting hired than a man, because she's a minority, because she's a woman and she's a black woman. So it's a lot of systematic things that lead to the reason why men are not in corporate America and not educated, but that doesn't equate to men not finding success. So I think we throw these words around that men are not in school. That don't mean nothing. Are men getting money? Are men getting skills? Because when the pandemic hit, a lot of people with degrees didn't have a job, but people who had CDLs was working. People who had a trade was working. So I think that is kind of a cliche term that gets thrown around, but there's really nothing behind it.
But the reason of my question, is to understand a little bit more of, the dynamic of why women are making more money, because, but also I hear that just because someone has a degree, that makes them more powerful, or just because you don't have money, you put the man in the position where, like, just because he doesn't make enough money, he's not a leader. But money doesn't give you the leadership skills or the title, or from college or whatever you're studying doesn't give you the leadership skills. You can graduate and still not be a leader. So what I'm seeing is the leadership skills that you need and qualities of a leader versus just being graduated or making money and wanting to be a leader, but you don't even know what leadership is. And I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general. Okay, just clarifying there.
I think parents have to teach their children, well, their sons, how to lead a household without being the financial, the person, the breadwinner. That's where we're getting lost at. We don't know how to be leaders outside of having the most money in the relationship. And it's a lot of other little small things, but like we said, though, if you don't got those examples of those little small things, it's like even like taking out the trash as a man, or cutting the grass, or holding the door for your girl. Like, if you don't have those little lessons growing up, then you're not gonna learn. And then especially now with social media, that's the first thing they putting out there. If you don't got no money, then you ain't got shit. You ain't got shit to to bring to the table. So I feel like if we can learn how to lead in other ways outside of just financially,
right,
that'll help us all out. But it's also up to the women too, though, to let them know that at a young age, instead of putting it out, if you don't got this, then you can't do that. Now you can still be able to make up, in other ways, other areas, to be a leader within your household.
So I wanted to say something real quick. Sorry. The lions and lioness, so they go hunting and they bring this stuff. They're the ones bringing the stuff, and there's someone that's still the leader. Someone's still the king, and he's respected for that regardless. So whatever resources the women have doesn't make them the leader. And I think that that's something that, as a country, I will put it out there, like as a country, is lacking on, making think that whoever gets more money is more successful. Whoever gets more money has more power. Whoever has more money is a leader. that doesn't make you a leader. People really need to understand that leadership is something else.
And also, women got to be able to, not to go back to the previous subject though, but providing that safe space to let them know that it's okay, that you can provide that in other ways. If women don't provide that safe space to let them know that they're okay if they're not making X, Y, and Z, then they're not going to be in it mentally. But that's hard. That's better said than done, because we know how women are. They ain't providing that or expressing that in that standpoint.
It's facts. It's facts.
Except for
All right.
Lucky.
All right. Oh,
So
Wait, what he say?
He gave you some props.
I'm giving some props. It's all love.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't hear it. Sorry.
It's all good.
So men today do want to lead. As we mentioned before, women just simply don't trust us, and women just simply don't. I don't think they don't even have faith in a lot of their men. And I think that's the hard part. A lot of men, they go wrong or they go astray because they're afraid of failing, not realizing that failure is a part of the process. Like, you're gonna take some L's. You gotta learn from those. That is what makes you a leader. You're not gonna be perfect. I think a lot of times women look for the finished product and they don't expect you to fail. Or if I do fail, she may leave me. She won't be able to withstand the tough times with me and to grow with me and all that stuff. So I think all that kind of ties in together for the reason why men want to, but women aren't allowing. Like, especially when it comes to financial security. I mean, it's on the table. That's what it is, especially today. That's the hard part. Women want financial security, and they feel, if I'm pretty much on the same level as you, how can you lead me to do anything? But it's like, damn, it's more than just financial. You know what I'm saying? So that man can be great in all other areas of his life, but because you guys make the same amount of money, now he doesn't get the same respect. And we should be right. We shouldn't be right. So I think that's what it is. Men just got to be more just firm. We got to keep just being more firm. That's what it's coming down to. There's a lot of confusion. They don't know which way to go. I'm scared to make this mistake because she may leave me or whatever. It's like, so they're hesitant and not firm in their decisions, trying to please instead of just being who they need to be as a man. So.
all right, Miss Luck. Men want to lead, man, but these women's making it a bit difficult. What's your thoughts on that?
The first thing I thought was, it's not about allowing somebody. You are what you are. So the reason why there's a drought in women, quote unquote, allowing it is just that thought process right there. I can't do something until you do something. That's ridiculous. The reason why every time you look at a culture, when their women are out of order, it's a reflection of the men. So if the Black women are all these things, it's a reflection of the men. Now we can blame, their upbringing. However the case, at a certain age, it's up to you to grab your own balls. So I think that if you are a man and you are saying that I have a problem with leaders, nobody wants to follow me, that's probably because you're not a leader. It's that simple. If I am a woman complaining out here and I'm doing all these things and 100 people say this is what I am, maybe I need to do some self-reflection. Maybe this is the area I need to learn from. And if you are out here being a victim and you're saying everyone else is the problem and I can't find not one woman, I have to, no shade, I got to go somewhere else and, find it. It got to be you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a woman saying, no, I can't find a man to follow. So in the first question, it was, what is a real man? Everybody said they stand on a principle, integrity, morals. We can all say most men didn't even know the quote unquote game until this whole manosphere thing got popular. Now we see all the men that needed that leadership, that needed that. So there is giving them confidence, but you don't just say it. No man is going to ask for you to follow them. It's just what you do. Now, if you can't get in line, he going to tell you where you could go. You know what I mean? You're going to find out real quick. So if there was way more men sitting at the front line saying, we are ready to lead, it would be a lot more women making those decisions. You wouldn't have clips to react to saying, she's out of order, she's this, she can only be what a man is going to allow. If you don't put up with bullshit, I don't care how fine she is, how fat her ass is, how she look, all of that stuff would not waver off of who you are as a man. You'll be willing to look past it, because if that's really who you are, you know, you can get $1 million of her. She can't get $1 million of you. That's the problem. It's not a whole lot of men with that demeanor and that abundance of men. Look how it goes when I mentioned protection. All the men that can't fight be shaking. They like, oh my gosh, what she's in the ghetto. No, it just comes with protecting a family. Anytime you say providing, it becomes, why we got to provide all this type of stuff? Let's bring in 50-50. You can kind of see it's like a man who's content in that. He's not going to argue with you. He going to slide you or you slide. I think that's what it is. I don't think that women don't want to follow. I would ask y'all, who are they going to follow? And if these are abundance of men, maybe they're those men that are, don't really go out much, don't really put themselves. So I think that plays into part, but I don't really hear men who are actually that man saying that he can't find a woman to follow him.
I said, man, Ronin, men today want to lead, but the women's make it a bit difficult. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Well, first off, that's a tough act to follow, but I'm gonna do my best. I need to lead because and Live has admitted that we didn't come up from the greatest upbringings or examples. So we need to lead to stop repeating those mistakes. We need to seek that leadership to find a sense of peace, direction, set that whole blueprint for ourselves. And she can benefit from it, being a part of that. But that's part of the vetting process on her. We expect to be vetted. But we have to understand that there's no handcuffs here. She can get up and lead tomorrow. You have to be able to lead with her presence and without it. So when it comes to the whole leadership thing, she can submit to things, but is it to your leadership or her negative narratives? Submit to her fears. You have to sit there and be consistent and lead regardless, good, bad, indifferent, take no days off. Now, if she sees that you're doing that, that's her choice to get on with that and roll with it and become better with it. But if not, that's part of leadership too, vetting the person who's not worthy to be around there and drag forward. So that's why I stand with the leadership. It's needs for himself. He needs to exercise self-preservation in a sense. But she is his problem until she becomes a problem. That's part of leadership too.
It's facts. SB. Men today want to lead, but the young ladies refuse to allow it sometimes. Man, what's your thoughts on that?
I agree with the part about the men wanting to lead, but I definitely think that there has not been enough examples out there or enough studying on how, and I'm going to marriage because I always do, because that's where I see this happening. I don't think there's been enough examples or enough research, I'm going to say research done on what a marriage actually looks like, or what a husband, a man being the head of household and authority looks like in a marriage. So therefore, a woman doesn't trust. I don't know. Women want stability and security. If men can offer that, a woman usually will follow. Women are making money now, so that is security, but they are not getting the stability that they need. They're not getting it if they're alone, if they're by themselves. So it is up to our men to become better leaders or more in authority or what have you. But again, it goes back to what Ayana said. If women are better, men are also, because we encourage, we empower, we do these things for our men. And I think we're looking for perfection in men sometimes, and it's not going to be there. Because like Trill said, I think last week, we learn on the job, woman and man. And another thing too, we can't always blame the other party for our own behavior. If a woman is not being a wife, then she also needs to learn what it looks like to be a wife in order to be submissive, to pull more from this man who is her leader or the person in authority head of her household. She has to learn to do that, because we can encourage our men to the point, y'all, they'll do anything. They'll do all things. They'll even probably get 2 jobs and take care of us. So that is a real thing. I've seen that work. I've seen that in action or what have you, but it goes back to the woman being that wife and encouraging that man. But again, going to the men, if a man doesn't have a foundation, he's not operating in morals and principles, a woman most women probably will not follow that lead. Because there won't be something there that they can trust in, because it's one of the major fears of women is that the man is going to leave. And if the man can't say to her or build enough relationship with her that she understands that he's there for her, we're going to do this together. However it's done, spiritually praying over her, them talking and discussing, plan, whatever it is, a woman has to have that type of trust in order to submit. But if there's no foundation there or belief system, I'm not sure what you would be submitting to. I'm not sure where that would come from. So that I just don't know from there. So I think we've lost all, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have lost all principle, moral, and foundation and belief. I think now we're just operating on the new God, which is money. And if we got a lot of it, we think we got it. We made it. It's all about us. But again, there's no foundation there, because if y'all don't know it yet, money can come and go. So you won't have a woman be able to actually submit and trust in that. So that would be the person, that would be a reason. And women have seen this over the years where their mothers, grandmothers, or whomever had to go out, go to school or whatever, and get a job to take care of themselves, which is nothing wrong with that. I see nothing wrong with a woman getting an education if that's what she wants to do. But I don't think that should take her away from being a wife. I think she still needs to understand her given role in the nuclear family or her creation as a helpmate, even with the money that she has. It still needs to be to better the family and for the purpose of being a wife to her husband.
I think that was beautifully said. I agree 100%, man. All right, we're gonna pay some bills, man. Then we're gonna play the clip. I got it queued up this time, the right one. We're gonna get to it. But before we do, make sure y'all tap that like button, man, if y'all enjoying the conversation, man. I appreciate everybody pulling up on us and kicking it with us tonight, man. Hell of a conversation thus far. Tomas with the 2-ball. We don't want Kenny. We want the truth.
They want Tatiana.
They be talking wild about, bro. As soon as he leave the room, man. It's all good though. Israel with the 10-ball. What up, bro? Please stop this fable that women are balling out of control. You can't say you're doing better than men financially, yet still complain about the wage gap. Pick a struggle, not to mention student and consumer debt. Women are leading in it. I heard the man. Appreciate you, bro. Shave, 2-ball. There go.
Stop messing up her name.
Ayana, how you say it? How you say it?
Iyanla. Look
I'm
at that thing right there. That was just
excuse me.
Ivan Lana?
Right.
What?
Hey, it's up out here. Big Jizz, 2-ball. Who leads equal? Are you a subordinate? Work 1B, worker B. I guess
I'll say pick 1B. Yeah.
Oh, pick one. Got you. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can't have it both ways. Can't have it both ways. There has to be some type of structure, man. Jay Prince, what up, bro? 5-ball. If women want to be led by a man, then why they try so hard to outdo men and be in a position of leadership of a man? Questions that need answers. Marcus, 2-ball. Good point, Trill. Appreciate you, big dog. The message with the 5-ball. I truly believe that as long as she respects you, she will follow you. If she trusts your word, it's up to you at the end of the day. You are choosing. That is very important. Very, very, very important point. I appreciate you, bro. Marcus say, very well said, OT. Not all men are meant or born to be leaders. That is a fact. And very true, Lucky. Combo and Chill say, Lucky is talking tonight. Appreciate you, big dog. Andre, the 5-ball, they say, in all caps, they say they want a leader until they get one with a standard. Then it's a problem. Just vet properly. Be that man. If she's not, bounce. Salute to SB. That's real. It's real. Bro came back to say, don't jump in that water until you can swim. Learn first. We'll say it again. I agree. Marcus, talk to him, SB. Superman say, Illa, that's enough. Okay. And then Alice Smith, the 5-ball. Shout out to Trill, the panel, on the pod for another insightful discussion. And on my B-Day, no less. Much love to y'all. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate you putting up.
Gemini, stand up.
Look, it always got to be a Gemini jump out of pocket and say something crazy. But nah, man, appreciate you, big dog. All right, I think. Oh wait, one more. Coco with the 7 ball say he must learn how to lead and know that he himself is a leader. When he reaches it, will show in his presence, his walk, and then lead me, baby. Hey, the women's are yearning for leadership, man. Boys got to do their thing. All right, man. We're gonna play this clip again. Make sure y'all tap the like button if y'all enjoying the conversation. Play this clip, and we're gonna get reactions as soon as it's over. SB, we coming right to you since you referenced it in your last response. So we're gonna come right to you for your reaction.
The one thing we forget is that the better we are as women, the better men can be as men. The softer we are as women, the stronger they get to be as men. And when we are their soft place to fall, they stand with a different height and a different posture and a different elevation. One of the challenges that we're facing right now is that women want men to be their girlfriends and men come home to find another dude.
She said the better we are as women, the better the man will be. So thoughts on that, SB?
That is so true. I done told my stories a lot, but I have a lot of them because y'all know I've been with my husband a long time. But I can remember back in the day, we used to buy homes to, redo them or whatever. And we hired a contractor to come and change some siding on the house. He took our money, y'all. And Mr. Boss was like, hey, my goodness, he took our money. So I was like emotional. I need to take him to court or whatever. Mr. Boss was like, no, he worked enough to cover what he took or whatever. Let's just do this. And I was like, babe, they're not smarter than you. You can do it. You can change those windows. You can put this siding on this house. He was like, babe, I ain't never done this before, but you can do it. You can do it. And what I say that for? Since then, he does everything. He'll go to YouTube University. He'll put air pumps on a Mercedes. He put windows in a house. I mean, anything. He'll do it. Since that day, I said, baby, you can do it. They're not smarter than you. I'm here with you. He will do it, anything. And it's like, sometimes I'd be like, okay, no, you're not supposed to do that. He'd be like, I got it. All you need is the proper tools. So, and it excited him. I mean, most men, I'm going to say most, I don't know this for sure, but I'm hoping most men are mechanically inclined and it just opened up something in him and he just like went for it. So I know for a fact that empowerment, encouragement, and you being there with them, they can get it done. They'll do whatever that needs to be done.
That support is everything. Mm-hmm. Nigel, so thoughts, you say the better we are as women, the better men will be. What's your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, that's what it's all about, encouragement. I mean, like you just said, it's that battery you put in his back to do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about encouragement, especially from a female. I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier. Like, I feel like that's the job that I feel like women have in a relationship versus men. I mean, obviously, we provide it, but women are supposed to be the person that's supposed to have our back, make sure that we're standing on what we're supposed to be doing, making sure that small things like putting batteries in our backs to build a fence. You know what I'm saying? But it's the confidence that you're giving us that'll make us do anything for you. You know what I'm saying? As long as we got that confidence and we understand that we got somebody that's here for a long time, not a good time. You'd be surprised how much a man will do for you. Honestly,
it's true.
I agree 100%. Ill. So thoughts on it, G? The better we are as women, the better men will be.
Yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it when I'm right. I just posted literally what she said verbatim on my page. Man, I was talking about how women who are, they have this independent, they're very accomplished, and they have they're very successful. To get to that level of independence as a human being, you have to tap into a lot of masculine energy. Flip it on the other side. Say if I was a man, I'm a house husband, and I'm with the kids all day. No matter how manly I am, to tap into that part of humanity, I'm going to have to tap into my feminine nature. So whatever task you have is going to bring in a certain side out of you. So when women are on this journey of self-empowerment and they want to become very ambitious, by default, it takes a lot of ambition, and a lot of ambition is still a masculine trait, not necessarily male, but I'm just talking about when it comes to polarity of energetic expression. That's a masculine trait. So, and I said on my page that a lot of these women are looking for a wife, not a husband. So I just find it very funny how Yana Von Zant basically echoed my sentiments. I never seen that clip. So she's absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? A woman is so powerful that she doesn't realize that. Not saying that a woman needs to just shut the hell up and not talk. That's not what I'm saying. A woman have a perspective that we need. But a woman is so powerful that if she's in her true feminine nature, just a soft presence will inspire you to do anything. She ain't got to open her mouth. I think women have been convinced that to be accepted in society or to show signs of power, they have to express it in a masculine way, which defeats the whole purpose of saying women empowerment. Because for you to feel empowered as a woman is to do your best mimicking of a man. What are you really saying? You're saying with your own actions that power is defined by manhood, because you're expressing your power by acting like a man. So it's like women don't really tap into their feminine. It's like this system has tricked women into thinking that the more masculine she is, the more powerful she is as a woman, which is a total oxymoron. So I think women gotta realize that they were blessed with a certain power where just your presence, your posture, the way you speak, your grace, the way you walk, you know what I mean, your gestures, your humility is so much more powerful than your ambitious desires. And I think that's the sentiment that Ayana was speaking to.
All right, man. We're gonna go right to Kayla. The better we are as women's, the better our real men will be, man. What's your thoughts on that?
Women's. So as far as what I have to say is, I do, just with a quote that's on the marquee, what I will say is that the better we are as women, I totally agree with the fact that I believe the better that we are as women, the better we will be in choosing a man that will create a space for us to be who we are and who we're supposed to be. Often women are choosing from a broken place, or wherever they're choosing from is from a toxic place. So they're not really their best selves. They're not really their whole selves. They're not really their fulfilled selves. They're also looking for a relationship to fulfill that, for validation and all these other things. They're not their best self. And so they're not even making a good decision in who they choose. So then that brings in all the drama, in the dynamics of the relationship. So I do think that when we vibrate to a level that we truly are doing the work to be our best selves, to be better women, to be better people in general, I do think that that is going to allow you to attract people in your life that are compatible, that play their role, and it just meshes, and it just works, versus us having some dialogue about every little thing, you know what I mean? Who does what in terms of the relationship. As far as what Iyanla said, I don't disagree with what she said, but I also think she's speaking from a certain I think she's speaking from a certain space of womanhood, that a lot of women these days just don't have the luxury like they used to, in terms of like the men being the provider. Like most households need 2 incomes to merely survive decently. So I agree with what she's saying, but because of that fact, I believe it's in tandem. The man needs to also create that safe space for his woman too, and create a space for her to be herself. If she has to go out and work and all of the things that he goes through, you know, manhood that he looks to his woman for, she wants to be able to look to him as well. When she was saying about like men want women, women want men to be their girlfriends. I didn't really understand how that conform with masculinity. I don't know what type of like friendships y'all have going on with y'all girlfriends, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding that dynamic. Like, you want a girlfriend, or you want the relationship and the bond that I have with my girlfriend. I want that with my spouse. You know what I'm saying? Some women do. Some women want to be able to come home and tell you about Real Housewives and talk to you like they talk to their girlfriends. And I feel like you should you should let that be, if that's her soft space or soft place to land, just like he wants his soft space to land, which may be you not talking. Yours is the opposite of him, you doing no talking. You know what I mean? So I just think it's a complex thing, but overall I do think that when you're your best self, you make the best decisions. When you're making decisions from a toxic space, you're never going to have the right company around you to even continue this conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. 100%. The better we are as women, the better men will be. It's a cold hard fact. It's nothing to argue with that. Women are a man's number one motivation, period. Over money, over anything. I think, you know, me and SB got into a bit of some drama back in the day in regard to, you know, box and things of that nature, which we ain't gonna reference again. We ain't gonna bring that up.
Lord, please,
you know
no, I cannot take it.
me and my girl SB was we was in a war with some people that shall remain nameless in regard to that, but it's still facts at the end of the day. It's nothing more motivating to a man than a woman. Now, box is part of it, but the main thing is the inspiration. Like, and that's why I tell dudes all the time, what women bring to a relationship that's, you know, of equal value in terms of what we bring is intangibles. It's intangibles. What does she motivate you to do? When you wake up and roll over and look at that woman, does she like motivate you to be a better man? Does she motivate you to go out there and do that extra to make sure that we secure? Does she motivate you to try new things that maybe you wouldn't be doing if she wasn't there? That could further the situation or could broaden the situation. Do you trust her judgment in terms of she analyzing the situation the same way you are? She give you a different perspective. Or is she worthy of listening to? These are things that's going to make or break the relationship, right? But going back to what she said, the better the woman, the better the man turns out to be. That's just reality. If you look at millionaires, you look at billionaires, take a poll, most of them are married men, and not just newly married. They've been married for a long goddamn time. And the reason for that is that woman provides stability. She provides, you know, a place of peace. She, you know, provides a space for that man to go out there and conquer whatever it is that he need to do, because when he get back to the crib, she going to recharge him to go do so. But if I got a toxic woman in my life, then she's taken away from the grind. And we can't have that. I got to worry about arguing with you about petty shit that means nothing. And that's taken away from me going out there and accomplishing what I could be doing. But if I got a supportive woman at the crib, she pushing me to go do not only what I want to do, but even further. Right. So I tell people all the time, I love relationship me 10 times more than I love single me. And that's a fact. Because that's the type of value that my old lady brings to my life. That's just what it is. She keeps me on point. She keeps me on my toes. She ain't scared to challenge me, even though a lot of people are. But she ain't. She say, "Nah, baby, that's some bullshit. I don't agree with that." and again, because I value her, you know, how she view things and who she is, I got to take that into accountability. Even though I got to put that ego to the side and consider it. And a lot of times she's right. Shit, I'll be like, damn, you know what, baby, I ain't think about it like that. You know what, you're right. But if she wasn't that, I wouldn't be the man I am. That's just honest. You know what I'm saying? So what she's saying is right, you know, and that's why we got to work so hard to going back to what Kayla said, giving these women stability, giving these women, you know, solid foundations and things to learn from. That way, when they get out in the world, they moving with a healthy mindset and not a mindset of desperation. Let me find somebody that got money. I don't give a damn what else he brings to the table. I just need to get away from this situation that I grew up in. And that's where they get in trouble at. But if you got a woman out there with a healthy mindset, know her worth, things of that nature, then she gonna run into the right man. And not only is she gonna run into the right man, but she gonna elevate him to proportions that he probably didn't even see himself getting to. That's the reality. So she 1,000% right. Go ahead, though. What's your thoughts on it, big dog? The better we are as women, the better the men's will be.
The men's.
The men's
Yeah,
is.
they I think it's 1,000%. And it's the exact same way the other way too. I'm not gonna derail too much, but the better we are as men, the better our women will be. So it's a whole cyclical thing that we both got to work on. And but just speaking from the women's side though, observing it's just so many different areas that it's taking adjustment because of just where we're at today. And women got to understand that there are plenty of men out here who are willing to step up and are trying to lead, willing to lead, want to lead, but some just need to be given a chance. Again, it goes back to the men not being the finished product. A lot of times I think they just want that finished product. And that's just not going to happen. Like, you're going to really get a man going through that process, and you're really going to understand him and love him and appreciate him more when you're going through things. Not saying you got to struggle, but it's not going to be that perfect cookie cutter package like how you want it. So once that happens, once we kind of understand and see where we're at today, it's going to get better. But right now, it's like a continuous war. Each person trying to outdo the other, each person trying to out finesse the other. And right now, even from a lot of men too, like that are established and have their things together, it's like, if you look at the market of women, it's like, I don't want to settle down with none of these women. Like, these women they too attention hungry. You know what I'm saying? I can't even say I want my woman dressing respectfully. I can't say that, because who are you to tell me how to dress? And well, hey, if you are my woman, I have rules on this side. And it also means that I respect myself. So if I respect myself, then I respect you by not putting yourself out there like that. And they'll put on the man, and you weak, you insecure, you know what I'm saying? So men is like, shit, if, again, go back to why I buy the cow when I get the milk for free. I'm laying back in the cut, got women in and out the crib, so there are no standards. Hot Cheetos, Wendy's 4 for 4. They going. And
Sure.
sometimes it don't even take that.
It really don't.
So how do we fix that though? Because I kind of agree with you that in relationships sometimes it seems like the two don't like each other at all.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jumping ahead. That right there is the last
I
question.
just heard him say, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's last question of the night. You jumping ahead, but again, you headed in the right place. Saida, what's your thoughts on it, man? The better we are as women, the better the men's with a Z will be.
I actually agree. I think that, and some women might not like how it sounds, but we are the standard. We are the product that they're getting. So it has to be good quality. Just like when you go buy something, you want good quality. It's the same thing. We have to be that. And we end up being a reflection of each other. I'll give you an example. I was with someone years ago. He's now my ex. And we used to work in the same company. But he was younger, significantly younger than me, because he lied though about his age, but that's another story. But he was promoted to a better position in the company. And, I was helping him because I saw potential in him, and I was already in, human resources. So I was like, not helping him to get there, but like, hey, you should work on these areas and la, la, la. So he got the position, but he got to the position and his shirt, it was a long sleeve, it was all wrinkles. His shirt was, like it looked messy. And I was like, wait a minute. People cannot say that that's Saida's man. Hell to the no. I was like, that day, I was like, do you do your own laundry, or like, is someone helping him? Because he came with his family had money in a way. So I was surprised that, he was looking this way. He's messy. And he was like, no, I do it myself. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to help you on Sunday and I'm going to iron your shirts. And I had to do it because I was like, I cannot allow that man. He's the reflection of me. And I am going to be a reflection of him. So that's the way that I see it. Like, we help people to be better, to improve themselves. That doesn't mean that he's a child or whatever. Hey, we're humans. It's workable things. But let me tell you, later on, when me and him broke up, of course, he effed up, right? He said, you have a standard. Like, it's not going to be easy to have a girlfriend because the bar that you raise is high. That it's going to be very hard for just any woman to be in that level. And I walk out of that relationship and my ego was like that. But let me tell you, I'll do it again. And I'll do it every time because I know that I give the best out of me and people cannot say shit about me. Simple as that.
That's a part of the L's. That's a part of the L's that some men got to take. That's how they become leaders, learning from your mistakes and to be better for the next person.
That's real rap, man.
Start in the household though. And like we said earlier, like Krew was saying, like the leadership just isn't there. Even in what you were speaking to OT about a trade and things of that nature, that was actually something that I learned growing up. My mom was like, them put you in these different activities. One thing I'll never forget, she told me, if you always have a skill, you'll never be hungry. So whether that's teaching kids how to play the piano, I teach dance on the weekends. My brother teaches lessons on the side, whatever it is, as long as you have some type of skill. But that also comes, in order to get the talents to have that skill, that comes from discipline. And if you don't got discipline in the household, it's really hard to even give a flying fuck about a skill when you were a teenager. You know what I mean? Like, then hindsight, I really didn't want to be there in some of the stuff I was doing, but like now I'm like, I'm very thankful for some of these skills. But that's again like leadership in the household that I think that men don't have when it comes to life stuff, relationship stuff. And then have such high expectations of women on the out, or don't have that example in husband. And they run through all these women. There's no way you're telling me you went through 50 women and none of them was good women. Some of them was good women that you just treated bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You ran through all these women and then you get to this space where I expect a woman to come to me and be, there are no good women out here. Well, y'all traumatized half of the ones that was good, that had the bar up here, that you spent months on end like a criminal, plotting and planning to exceed, knowing you had no intentions of doing anything serious. You know what I'm saying? And then where are all the good women that aren't damaged? Well, it wasn't you, but it's the same guy with your mentality that lived in the city she from. And then it's just a cycle, But yeah, I just wanted to add that.
That's cold.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Go ahead. Look, what's your thoughts on it? The better we are as women, the better the men's will be.
I'll comment on that first. I'm gonna say yes because I am of the belief that I think we kind of always think surface. I think deeper, the core of who we are, and always display. I think women are faithful completers. So I think in a lot of different cases, we have the ability to either speak life or death always, even as if we're single mom. That's why it's more detrimental for it to be a single mom going through all of that because of how we're designed. Men are designed differently. So I think you see a lot of times it plays into how a man does things. We see these crazy scenarios that go viral where somebody lose their life because a woman had said something made him feel this way. All these type of things and I think that women are aware of our control. And I think that a woman who's self-aware, we know that we have to be aware of the pride we carry, because if we do see everything that changes, they first have to get a woman. How can I break down a whole culture of men to even get to these gender wars society and prevalent in our culture? If we can get to the women, we have to first let the women feel prideful. We have to first start saying stuff like, what is a woman? They're taking that away from us because they understand the power. We're faithful completers. The minute we can get a woman to gear this nature or nurture this type of way of thinking you got the men. The men can't do nothing. They're disabled. So I think we in whether it's a urban situation or it's a sophisticated situation, every situation, the woman is the one that's used to manipulate. So I think that speaks to a lot of things when it comes to a man. I think men have a sense when we are soft, I think it ignites certain things. If we are taking up room in that space in the household, it only can be the opposite. I think we're yin and yang. You can't be in a space where you're trying to yell at him and think you need to be my man and be this way because he needs to respond the way you want to. Now it's kind of like the video. You want him to submit to you like you his husband. And then you come in the house, he has to compromise his position as a man to make you happy, just like a woman would. He has to now submit to your leadership. And I think that's where the disconnect is. A lot of women don't understand that what they're pushing is them trying to dominate and be leaders. That's what it is. If you want to know what a leader is, look at what you are. Figure out, why do I keep attracting these soft men that I have to keep telling what to do? It's because you're taking up a lot of that energy. You are probably on a date. So where you asking these questions, you being, I don't know, because I need a man to do this. Guess what he gonna do? He gonna say whatever it is to fuck you. And then once he do that, it's gonna be like, all right, I'm cool with her. Like, I mean, I think how many times do we as women have to experience this before we get some wisdom and say, you know what, I don't like that experience. I need to grow, or I don't like this type of way. I need to go. I need to do something differently. So I that's what I took from the video is, and I see a lot of households and relationship and marriages where the man is just, they even start the marriage off like, yeah, whatever make her happy. I guess I'll pay it. Because she, I'm saying, look, girl, no, I ain't got it. Tasha K, I ain't got it. They not doing that. They're simply coming into the relationship on both knees. Whatever you want, queen. Black women are queen, goddess, all this type of stuff, thinking that ain't gonna do nothing. But as soon as she see a real man walk by, she gonna want him and be done with you. So I think that's what I got from the video and all of this. I would say from the quote, it's the better we are as women, the better men will be. I think that's only in the constitution of a relationship. I think other aspects of life, the better you are as a man, the better woman you will attract is what I'm gonna say. But if you're already in a relationship, yes, a woman should definitely be cautious of how we can be overly prideful, overly selfish, overly whatever. I think we have to constantly be cautious of that because it can come off dismissive to that man. And then they're going to shut down. They're not taught to be as boisterous as we are. They're taught to be quiet. Don't do this to women. Even when a woman I seen a woman nudge a man in his face, do all this type of things, and men around talking about, yeah, you ain't supposed to put your hands on her. That's a woman. Like, we're taught things. The man is taught to just be in a soft position all the time when it comes to a woman, and she could just be whatever. So I think we're taught these type of things. That's my thought overall.
Well said. Well said. Go ahead, Ronin. What's your thoughts on it, G? The better we are as women, the better the men's will be.
Damn, Lucky, if you're trying to get married, just say that. Fuck. Well, there's a reason why I wear this shirt. Peace over punani. And when a woman taps into her femininity, when she learns how to tap into her femininity, she can change the environment. She can speak life into that man. She can get that dude to renew his battery immediately. But when you got someone who's toxic, she can literally suck the life out of you. She can kill dreams in a bad way. She can literally talk that man into basically his own safe house where he finds a pocket just to be around her, but he doesn't want to deal with her. I can fuck you, but not fuck with you. That's why I meant about the whole thing about being emotionally homeless. When you come back to a house, everything you worked hard for, and you come back to a war zone, but dude's gonna find a pocket to function physically, but mentally, you've been cut off. That's his safe zone. So for the right woman, a man will kick Lucifer's ass on his birthday. There's no stopping him in that. She could talk that dude to sit there and basically flip over cars and save a child. Everything. So when it comes down to it, it's about how you grace the room. Yeah, if he's out there on 10, you be that one to sit there and calm him down. And once he sit there and trust you with that, you'd be surprised at what he opens up to. Because, when it comes to men, they say you don't understand men because you don't know how to talk to him. You talk at him. You talk about him. You talk against him. And you wonder why you only get a shell of the dude rather than the heart of that man. If he could trust you with his inner child, there's nothing that he can't do. He'll find a way. You guys do things to sit there and not just change people's perspective of him because you're representative of him, but you got to change that man, like soften that man up to like, look, you can do better than this. I trust you. I see you because you're representing me. But some of these modern women need to stop throwing their stinky dildo on the table and talking about their femininity is nothing more than changing the smell in the room and its perspective in a negative light.
Yeah, I agree, man. I also want to add this, man. I think as women, man, y'all gotta give a man something to protect, man. And that's why being in your femininity is so important, you know, because when you moving like us, then we feel like you got it, right? Like example, let's say we all out at the, you know, lounge or the, you know, late night spot or whatever, and something jump off. Me, old Kenny, Smooth, the guys, we out, and something happen. I ain't gonna look to protect them. I'm gonna look to hold my square because I know they got this. You see what I'm saying? So no, I ain't protecting your ass. So when the so again, like why is that? It's because I feel like they gonna be able to hold their own. Like they men just like me, we equal, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna do what we gotta do to get out the spot. Compared to if you got your girl with you, it's gonna be a different type of situation. You're gonna operate differently, right? And why is that? Because your girl in your eyes is seen as feminine. She's seen as something to protect. She's seen as something soft, something that I need, something that I'm in charge of covering. I may know she got it, but based on her demeanor and how she moved, like this ain't her element. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to protect her in that way, right? And the reason I say that is because a lot of women don't give a man something to protect. They want to come off as, hey, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. I take care of it. I do this. I do that. And it's a bunch of masculine behavior to whereas as a man, you start thinking, okay, well, you got it. You got it. And with that mindset, he gonna be less willing to protect you because he feel like you got it. Compared to if you presenting him something to protect, like I'm still a woman, I'm resting in my femininity, then he gonna run through a brick wall for you, going through what Ronin is saying to make sure that you're safe, just like he would if it's his child there, because he feels like, okay, my child is out of the element. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm first instinct, protect the child, grab my child. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give a man something to protect, and a lot of women don't do a good enough job of that because they so pressed on proving to a man that I'm your equal, that I can do everything you can do. And I feel like that only hurts you on the back end. It's cool to, you know, reference it here, there, but a lot of women wear that like a badge of honor. Like, I don't need you here. Like like, you know what I'm saying? So that is not giving a man something to protect. And you're going to see a different type of behavior out of that man because of that. So that's just something to think about. Go ahead, Ron.
Oh, so plus women, it's like you're supposed to know the difference between nurturing and neutering. And a lot of times how you neuter that man when you sit there and vent to your friends or your family about intimate stuff that's supposed to be taken care of in the house. You're cutting his legs off on his leadership. When you talk about how you carry yourself in public and private, you can neuter him that way. Because you can present this image like you're this chaste woman and everything, but you're a super thought in the streets. That's going to get back to him, and now you're a breach of security. So you wonder why he clams up. So you are the gatekeeper to that intimate side of that guy, because he will do whatever he can to protect his heart if you earn that place.
Agree.
That though, for the fellas though, this not for the people, the panelists, for the people that's watching. Like, do you want a strong black woman? Like, really? Because I don't, and I say that in the sense of like they use that as it's a masculine trait. I mean, we talked about it's a masculine trait. Like, I don't want my woman to be a strong black woman around me. I mean, I feel like you only have to be strong. You have to be. You shouldn't have to be. And I feel like that's the misconception right there as well.
I agree with you on that. I don't want a strong black woman. I want a sound woman. She's more functional than a bullheaded, edgeless oracle running around here spreading chaos. I'm good.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't necessarily mind a strong woman, but it's important to note that is strength in reservation. It's strength in being subtle. It's strength in being feminine. If we're gonna be honest, a feminine woman is stronger than any man can be. Why? Because she can control him. We see it every single day. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you look at like a gang, I don't want to bring up negativity. If you look at like a group or something, right? You have people who are the thinkers, who are the ones who outline how we gonna do this thing, and then you got people who you send on hits. You know what I'm saying? You are brute force. That is your job. This is what you in charge of, man. Let me do the thinking. Let me put you in position for you to do the right thing. Women operate a lot like that in terms of how they move. A super feminine woman can make most men do anything. That is a fact. So, but when you try to go against that and you try to stick your chest out and you try to be masculine, you try to, prove to your man that we on the same level, then he gonna be less willing, like I said earlier, to feel the need to protect you. I feel like you got it. You showing me you got it. So get it. And I think as a man, a lot of times when they dealing with women, they kind of question their place. It's like, okay, because my natural instinct is to protect my woman, take care of my woman, make sure my woman is good. Almost similar to like a child almost. But when she doesn't move that way, then that kind of jars my line of thinking. That jars my intention, and it got me questioning my role. They got some women out here who super accomplished, make a lot of money, all that, and they wear it as a badge of honor. So as a man, when you come into that, your instinct is protect and provide. But if she constantly reiterating to you, I don't need your protection, I don't need your provision, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it, then you out of frame as a man. So again, I just want to stress that, man. I'm not saying walk around and be weak. There's strength in being subtle. There's strength in femininity. There's strength in reservation. Practice it. But let that man be a man. He chose you for a reason. That man want to take care of you. Let him do it.
A lot of women, they start the conversation off with them being a strong black woman, like that's supposed to be attractive, like.
But isn't that up to the men to start being more vocal about what's not attractive on the spot?
Every man is different, but I'll say for myself personally, I give enough rope to redeem or hang themselves. If they're gonna talk themselves in the hole, cool.
But I mean, we can talk all night about being assertive and being straight to the point, all this standing on principles, all of that. But if you can see that if you coming on a date, kind of like what he was saying or whatever, you coming into a situation and she's leading with that because she thinks that's an asset, isn't it up to you, who's the leader, to kind of say, you know what, hey, baby, that's not attractive. Be honest.
Yeah. I say no, and this is why. Going back to what you just said probably about 10 minutes ago. Okay. If I tell you what's unattractive to me and you like me, then you're going to shapeshift and your actress is going to turn into what I want you to be. I want to know who you genuinely are. I want to know what I'm signing up for. But if I give you the blueprint, then you ain't going to be honest.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, SB. What?
Oh, I wasn't going to go ahead and say what you said because I'll say it afterwards. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask in the courting process, because I'm only going to talk about intentional. I think we all talked about that. Do you think that coming into a situation, even if a woman was to say, I'm strong and that's an accomplishment for her, or whatever it was, let's say, because everybody been saying degree. Do you think that overall rules out everything else about that woman as instantly a negative, or can there be room for a person to understand and compromise? Because if we can say nobody is complete, that means that you're coming in with a certain percentage of something and the person sees quote unquote potential or trusting you to be able to gear them. A relationship I've seen is people pointing out things and then there's constantly work, you know what I'm saying, to adjust to said person. So if we're coming into a situation to just 86 somebody in the area where that could be a room for improvement, who's deeming what's like, if you said something and she started making those adjustments, how can you decide whether it's true or she really made the adjustments because she want to be with you, or if she's faking it? How can you decide that? Because
just first things first, there is room for redemption, but I think it's also important to know like how, because if you lead with that, then that tells me that that's of the utmost importance to you. That's who you are. You see what I'm saying? If you are a feminine woman and things of that nature, I'm here to, be a help me to my man and things of that. If you value that, that's what you're gonna lead with. You're not gonna lead with, hey, I'm a corporate exec, I make this, I got 3 degrees, I got this, that. If you lead with that, that's what you value. And I think it's important to know that, because even if you do change, more times than not, it's not gonna be permanent, because that's not how you really feel. So if we having this conversation and you telling me these things, And then I tell you, hey man, okay, cool. I mean, all that's cool, but I don't really value that in a woman. I value this. If you like me enough, then you're gonna make those adjustments, or you're gonna try to, okay, from this point, I'm gonna downplay that and I'm gonna tell him what he want to hear. But it's not gonna be permanent. It ain't gonna be nothing that you're willing to sustain.
That's really what
it
you
is,
value.
right? Because it is the reason that you led with it. If you was that willing to push it to the back burner, you wouldn't lead with that information. That's all I'm saying.
And
that's why I said that.
That makes sense.
Look,
no, I'm gonna say the man though. I'm gonna add to that. Like, do I value that though? That's the thing. Like when before Kevin Samuels died, like when he used to ask the girls like the first couple of questions, like the first thing they say is, you know, I'm a strong black woman, or I got this degree, this, that, and the third. But is the man okay with that? Is he valuing that? Is that something that he wants out of his mate? No, majority of the time it's probably no. But because y'all feel like that's what's important, that's what we should, you know, like then, you know, it comes off as a not arrogance, but you know, like we should just be okay with it, and if I like you, then I'm you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna deal with it.
And that's why I mentioned the whole thing about I don't want you to tailor your answer. I want you to be honest. Your attitude and mindset is going to reflect that. If you're that strong in a certain area, you're going to reflect that. So most people like to do this little relationship cosplay and get to where they want to, not earn the spot that they need to.
So I think that's something that women need to learn about men. And what that is that it's I did a video about this. It's a very thin line for a man to pick his wife and a girlfriend. They see us, well, men used to see us as adoring, and a man wants a woman that he can adore. Mm-hmm. So if we don't learn how to show up as ladies and as wives, they'll discount us and we won't even know why. You know, we won't know. That little thing right there with her leading with she's being strong, some men, most of them would just walk away and never tell her why. Like you just said, why won't you come to me and help me with this? They won't. They'll just walk away.
Even SB, I'm saying like even in that, like it puts the responsibility on women like you to get these women in line, right? But in the active moment, you don't have to still be with her. But if she's in a dating scene looking for being intentional, and men aren't telling her why she's getting passed up, is what I'm saying. Even if this is the last, we won't have another date. Sometimes, just like with women, if they were more honest to the men, women don't hesitate being honest. But just the honesty, it helps you even going into the next situation. Maybe it's just something I need to be more aware of. You get what I'm saying? Not everybody is thinking that if I come in saying I'm strong, that is translating into me being negative. You get what I'm saying? Because if just like Illa was saying, if we believe that women are indoctrinated, then they have to be reprogrammed by said man. So how can I know unless you're telling me? Now you just got a bunch of women out here that are getting bombarded with a whole lot of stuff that men are saying because men can't just keep it 100.
Well, they think that we should know because they're expecting us to show up as ladies and women that are looking to be wives if we're dating intentionally. Mm-hmm. Because it could be something as simple. I mean, you should have seen the responses. Like one guy said, the girl farted. He was like, I'm out. Some of them, I mean, serious. One of them said the woman's daughter called her and said she was getting ready to fight at the Chinese restaurant. The woman said, I'm on my way. He said, I'm out. Mm-hmm. That type of stuff. And they never said why I'm not dating you anymore. It was just certain little things. And they were little things. Some of them were really little things that women did. And it just turned the men off. Like they really liked these women. But it was just certain little things. It was like, okay, I know this is going to be a problem later on. I'm out. And they wouldn't tell them. And that was the big thing there too. Why won't y'all go back and tell them? And they said the same thing that Trill said. Because if I tell you, you're going to fix it temporarily. But I'm trying to find a wife. We go into marriage. All this is going to come back and be on me a little later. And that's ain't what I'm looking for.
But why wait around for her to even possibly fake it? You know what I'm saying? Just tell her and get on is my point. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. Mm-hmm.
It'll also, even if she get 86 and block, at least she know, dang, he did say this. You know what I'm saying?
I think some of them do, but for the most part, they were saying that they'll ghost them. Oh, I know why they said it. Most of them said they would ghost them because they didn't want to have the fight. Because you know how they say when you tell a woman the truth, it's always disrespectful or it's a fight. So a lot of them didn't want the fight.
Yeah, there's your lucky answer, Lucky. Most of them cannot handle the exit interview. It's an issue.
The exit.
It's an issue.
I think also, man, like people got to learn how to read the room, man. Like a lot of this stuff is not that complicated. It's just like, women say all the time, like about a dude, like if he smell bad or if he, you know what I'm saying, I'm out. Like, or if he coming off, just doing too much, I'm out. But I feel like as a man, like that woman shouldn't have to tell you that if you keep losing women every time that you do this thing. Because again, even if like we in conversation, let's say we on a date hypothetically, and we talking, and then you get to talking about, yeah, I'm a strong woman, I ain't had no daddy in the crib, I had to take care of myself, I had to do this. You're gonna be able to gauge that man reaction to tell how hard that landed, you know what I'm saying, or how receptive that he is to that. If he shies away from that, or he kind of be like, oh, okay, damn, he try to change the subject, then okay, this ain't really a attractive trait to this man. You see what I'm saying? But it takes being able to read the room to be able to do that. It's just like a man. If y'all on a date or whatever, let's say, and he get to talking about sports and shit, like y'all could have been talking about relationships before or whatever, and you like heavily engaged in the conversation. You giving back and forth. You doing this, you doing that. It's intriguing conversation, and one way or another, sports come up. And he just get the rambling. Yeah, the Cowboys, gonna win the Super Bowl this year, bye. And you kind of looking at your phone, you kind of eating your food. Oh, okay, one word answer. Read the room. That shit is not landing. Stop doing that. You see what I'm saying? So I think people got to take accountability on that end as well. Like if somebody got to tell you that this ain't an attractive trait, that means that you ain't doing enough due diligence when you're looking at mirror, in my opinion. But hell of a concept. Who everybody answer this?
SB.
No. So she
I
started.
think I led with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I led.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna pay some bills and we're gonna get to the last question of the night, man. I appreciate everybody's patience. It's been a hell of a conversation. Amaz doing salute to Alan 52585. He stop playing with us. Look, hey, Mars, man, block all Geminis in the chat. I appreciate your
Absolutely not.
block all
Block 'em.
Marcus Evans with the 5R. The lady in the video just put the nail in the coffin. Throw in the damn that's
Marcus,
fact.
put some respect. She been around for a minute. The lady in the video.
Hey,
Oh Lord.
hey. Andre the Fire God, yes. Ayana spoke bars. Peace allows us to focus for the turbulence, which makes us grow. When she's got soft, I'm hard. Or when she's soft, I'm hard. Hey, yo, trust.
Say that again.
Okay, it's after midnight, but that was not my fault.
Nah, it's all right. Andre, that's facts though. Appreciate you, G. You say when the feminine submits to the masculine, that power increases exponentially. Alignment causes the car to run smooth. If not, we get wear and tear. It's facts. It's facts. Sanya, some men are not comfortable with the idea. Also true. The message, I agree with Ayanla, but I agree with Kayla more. Yeah. All right, Mr. Spacey with 2 bars. Saida got that dog in her. Oh, hell to the no.
She did say that. She was like, my chest.
Appreciate you. He definitely said that with a chest. Andre, 2 bars. Talk your talk. Saida, be your authentic self. That's real, man. Marcus 2 bar. Lucky, the food is on me. Boy,
okay, what we eating?
What we eating for $2?
Oh, don't do my man. Don't do my dog.
I knew Kayla was gonna say that.
I just want to know. Maybe he's getting $2 tacos.
Hey.
Well,
Where
it's
you
not
get
Tuesday
$2
no more.
tacos from?
May have to wait till next Tuesday, girl.
Yep.
They $6 out here.
Y'all love tacos.
Oh, out here we got $2 tacos on
Per
Tuesday.
taco.
Yeah, on Tuesdays, $2.
$2
That's
tacos
facts.
Tuesday.
Andre say SB Saida Lucky got greens, beans, and potatoes.
Green beans and potatoes.
Oh, the lady.
Appreciate it. Marcus say Trill just end the show. Lucky is putting too many nails in a lot of coffins right now. Lucky is cooking, man. Salute. Say damn, Ronin. Round of applause. Bro came back. He said, I'm never protecting a woman that is masculine. Not now, not ever. And Trill, let them learn the hard way. Hey,
Come
man.
on, Marcus.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ma'am, hold your own nuts.
It's tough, man. Sonya say some men prefer that woman that devalues him. I disagree. Men don't prefer that. Boys, possibly, but that's neither
Simps.
here nor there. Simps, because hell no. Big and simple. Again, it goes back to missing bricks in your life's foundation. That's on your mother and father to build your foundation, not me. I agree,
Yep.
1,000%.
Yep.
I agree with that. Sheldon, to Fireball, y'all brothers are cooking tonight. All caps. I'm loving it. Salute, family. Great show. Crazy part is most women ain't trying to hear Ayanla. Sadly. Sadly. She be talking some real stuff though. Antoine with the fire say what a women may see as controlling a man may view as protection. The less clothes a woman wears, the more she puts her man in danger. Facts. That is a fact. All right. Appreciate
Wait a minute.
everybody
Did y'all
donating.
see that video where the woman had her vagina all the way out in the
Yes.
mall?
Yes, girl, it's on my
Yes.
TikTok,
I
and
did.
she was fat.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy.
What
Feel like a carburetor.
You didn't see it, Kevin? Yeah.
What'd you say about a carburetor?
That she built like a carburetor.
She just had an extreme.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A lady in the mall.
woman went through the mall with, like those skirts that have like a high slit, like she moved it to the front with
To the
her
middle.
It boxes
To the
out.
clit.
Yeah.
The slit
So-
went to the clit.
Her vagina.
It was all the way out, all the way.
In Atlanta, who out here in Atlanta? That's y'all L.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Damn,
Them all
Nigel.
smell like hush puppies and ass.
I don't know. Was she going to prom?
I mean, could you actually see it?
She was a grown one.
No, you can see
Could
it.
you
see it.
see it? Did she have a fupa and it just looked like
No,
stomach?
you
or
can
could
you
see
no,
her
you can
vagina?
see it.
Oh,
You can see
everything.
it.
It was out.
saw
No
it.
everywhere.
Everything.
It
Moose
was out.
knuckle. The whole
It
moose
was out.
knuckle.
out.
Yeah,
no
it was
missing.
out.
And
Nigga, oh.
She had a skirt on and it had the slit, and she put the slit in the front, and
There was
All
no
monkey.
secrets. No
So all
I'm
secrets.
not
monkey.
really I'm not really.
Fellas, man, raise your daughters, hug them tight at night, man.
Walking
Tell
like
them
she
you love
was
them.
on the runway too. That's how she was walking, just proud.
she
I
was.
actually saw another video where a woman is pretty much almost naked outside, like with a see-through skirt, and she's going through a store. But something that I really like is the men address it like on the moment, on the spot. They
Oh
were
yeah, I
like,
saw that one
you
too.
know,
Yeah.
what are you doing? And I think that's important, because probably she don't care, because right there she's like, I don't want to marry, like she's justifying her behavior. But there's other women out there that are listening and that will probably understand that men don't like that. And men should be saying that, men should say, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Men say all the time what they don't like.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't gonna listen.
So they
But
vote
don't
with
you
their
think that's
feet.
a little mental illness though?
They deal with girls they don't like all the time. It's weird.
That's true as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. Y'all don't stand on nothing.
I think that's a little mental illness to walk around with your vagina all the way out.
I think they honestly spend more time with women they don't like than with women they do actually like.
Well,
She got a valid point on that shit. That's
And
a
so
fact.
often it's hard.
Kayla, talk about it.
And often it's hard to cultivate the relationship. Some people don't even know like what to do because they're so used to like running game, running lines, and doing what they do with all these women that they really don't give a shit about. That when they do get in the presence of a woman, they don't know how to conduct themselves. And I'm not even gonna say too. I'm not too much on that because I got a whole rant for real.
And
when they
in the moment,
they
just
start getting mad at you.
My perception.
Yeah, they get mad at me
after I got the box.
and I'm like, sir, I am not
You got
fine.
game too. We both
Like,
got game.
sir, I don't.
Hey, shout out to Batting Cage Booty.
The entitlement, it's crazy. I'm sorry. Go, let's move
I think that's about control, though. I think people may do that because they can continue to have control over the relationships or whatever they're doing if they don't really care.
They like the idea of them rather than the reality of them.
Do you think
No, they
somebody
just don't want the
should have
responsibility.
control?
I didn't hear you. But
I was
say it
saying,
again.
do you think that someone in a relationship should have control of how the relationship goes? Or do
Well,
you
if they're not ready to commit or they're not ready or afraid of falling in love or being married or whatever, I think that they do that to control the situation because as long as they're moving the way they want to move, then it's all good. But as soon as they meet that one that they allow or that they're vulnerable with, it's over. They feel like it's done.
It's also just about accountability. They don't want to be accountable.
Right.
Because when you actually have a commitment to someone, now you have accountability to them. And people, both men and women, don't want that. They want to be able to like move outside and do whatever it is that they want to do. And then they call other people simps or pick-me's for respecting like their partner's making compromises for their partner. And those are just people I think should just stay away from relationships, period, because even if they had the perfect person, it's not going to work with that mentality. You know what I mean? Like, both people have to compromise. Like, it's not going to work if you don't have that mentality.
I get what you're saying, Kayla. I mean, it's like they treat it like handicapped parking spaces. They just still want to be in the streets. They just want preferences.
But there's nothing good about relationships right now, though, and we always talk against marriage. So I can see the fear. I understand why people would want to, you know.
And I can understand why women have a hesitancy to just let some dude walk in and say, I'm about to just, I'm the leader. I got the answers. I got the answers. I'm swayed. I got all the answers. Follow me.
I think because not every man is going to be dominant and all those things. Some men just aren't. You have different types of men. So I think those men deserve women who are more dominant in those areas because it gives it balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the Norbits of the world and the Derek. When we just
Why Norbit? Derek, why?
We was just talking about Derek last week with Respucia. So you do need some of the men have to. That's just the truth. Like, if you're going to attract the opposite, it's the same as men. You're going to see, and then even if you get one that you feel like is up here, when she starts seeing certain things about you, you can't keep her because you're not that type of man. So those men, I think, deserve dominant women that will protect them.
Hey. Everybody got weaknesses in certain areas, so it is good to find balance, I think. No, seriously, because I do have a friend that's really not good in the organization stuff, and she's literally she's going through a situation, and she's like, I don't even know how to do this because this is something my ex-husband did. I really don't even know how to even do this. So now I have to figure out how to do this. And like she said the same thing, that he called her. He called her and was like, how do I set up the points on the hill? Like, he had no idea. You know what I mean? Like, when it's a giving, you play to your partner's strengths, and that becomes a good thing when you're together. When you lose that, though, that's when,
I do think a wife should protect her husband, because I definitely protect mine in all ways, but it doesn't look dominant though. It's different. It's a little different. I'm just very protective of them. Like, if I ever heard anybody saying something or whisper, or if I read the room and got a funny look or whatever, I may be like, I make sure he understands what's going on. So I'm like that second set of eyes, where sometimes, like, I think Trill said it, sometimes men are not aware. As his wife, I'm definitely reading the room. I'm just like, look, baby, I'm getting a funny vibe here. So I'm always protecting my husband, but it just looks different. I don't think it looks dominant.
It doesn't have to be dominant if that person yields. If they know that you're strong in that place and they're not going to say, because my gender, I need to, you know what I mean? You're just going to yield to you on that, babe. I know this is your, you good at this.
But he's not going to do that.
I don't have to kind of try to take control of anything. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good leader, so he's going to delegate out properly.
Well, I think, women we have a strength of detail. Most of us do. We like very detailed, and men are more solution. So they're straight to the point. And I'm like everything. I see almost everything. And he'd be like, babe, I ain't even see that. I got you. Don't worry about it. I see it. So that's just how we kind of move together. But it's never been an issue. So I guess you're right, Kayla. He understands that, Yeah,
that right there is what's necessary, man. We need our woman watching our six. That is a fact. All right, man. Last question of the day, man. SB brought it up, referenced it. How do we remedy the disconnect between our men and women in this regard? Title of this live stream is "Why Do Men Refuse to Be Real Men Today?" How do we remedy the disconnect, the lack of trust in terms of women who just flat out just don't trust their men to lead, don't trust their men to be men, don't trust none of that shit until it's proven? How do we remedy that and get on the same page, in y'all opinion? And we're going to start with SB, since she referenced it in the last segment.
Listen, I've been struggling with this for like 2 years, but what I think and what I try to do is just always inform ladies or women to let them know that whatever the man is doing, it should not interfere with us being women that want to be married ladies. You know what I'm saying? It just shouldn't interfere. We still have to be the best versions of ourselves despite. And if we do want to be married, I think that there will be a husband out there for, excuse me, the husband out there for us. So I just think it's just being open and not being so, kind of reduce the influences that we have far as being on social media, and just get out of that norm of that negativity towards Black men, because it's like everywhere. And the more you hear it, it's like, oh my God, it's everything they do is just negative, negative, negative. So get away from that and still just be the best woman that you can be and become a wife. That's what I think. That's what I've been trying to do.
Well said. I agree with that. Nigel, what's your thoughts on the remedy, man? How do we remedy this disconnect between our men and women, a lack of trust in terms of men's leadership?
We need more role models. That's what it is. We need people to look up to, more people in the community, social media that's doing it the right way. No, that's the start. We got a lot of us got trust issues. So unless we get over those traumas, until we get over those traumas, we never gonna be able to start our relationships off the proper way. But it started with honesty. It started with being real, and also on both sides holding a safe space for each other. Letting I think, like Kayla said earlier, being okay with you taking over where I lack, and not looking at it, as a negative, or a downfall to the relationship. I feel like that's where it starts, though.
I agree with that 100%. Kayla, what's your thoughts on the remedy? How do we remedy this lack of trust in terms of man's leadership and then being real men?
Remedy the lack of trust that we have. I think the first space to remedy is you have to forgive yourself for your bad choices, and so that you're able to trust yourself. If you can't trust yourself, it's very hard to trust other people. If you can't trust your own judgment, you should be able to, and a friend even said that to me, you should be able to, like, or we were talking about it, you should be able to be in a space where you trust the decision that you make with the person that you choose, that you're willing to allow, the other parts of trust that come with it. But I think often people don't even trust themselves, their own judgment from things in the past. And then that makes it twice as hard for them to trust their partner, for their partner to trust them. So you definitely have to do your healing, do your work, and like get past that, forgive yourself, get to a place where you trust your own decision making. Once you get kind of past that, I mean, people just have to get more comfortable with like a little less traffic. Because when you start operating in a different type of space, some people don't want to deal with you.
So Kayla, you almost there.
And then it's like, people don't like that rejection, but you just got to be like, like.
Kayla, you almost there. Say it. I said, you're almost there. Just go ahead and say it. It starts with an A. Go ahead and say it. Accountability. Everything you defined was accountability.
Okay.
I said, go ahead and say it. It starts with an A.
I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm not doing it. Y'all said it. Okay.
You said it.
No, because I think there are people that still have taken accountability for their past actions, but they haven't let that go in order to move forward. Lots of people are always looking backwards on like things that happened in the past, people that hurt them in the past, things they've been through. It's a lot of past tense. So you can like take accountability. Yeah, I really fucked up there. But you have to get to the space of like, how can I move forward in a better space and trust that I can do better, without having to have someone there like, yeah, babe. Like you need to do it on your own, in your own self. You know what I mean? Stand on who you are as a person. But yeah, I think that sums it up. I think.
Yeah, I think remedy. I mean, it's a lot of remedies, but I mean, if I had to name one, it start with men taking care of their kids first and foremost, because I think a lot of the issues that we have is people just don't have father figures in their life. They don't know what a real man look like. They don't know what structure look like. They don't know what somebody coming in and kind of setting the standard as for how things are going to be ran, right? So when you don't have that, then now you're left to figure that out on your own. Or, when you get outside, and in the process of doing that, you're going to run into a lot of people who you're not supposed to be with. You're going to waste a lot of time. You might have a kid by somebody who you shouldn't have been with. And as an older person, man, ain't no damn way I should have even been dealing with them at all, right? But you didn't have that tutelage. You didn't have that rubric to go out there and run these people through. Why? Because you did not have a solid father figure in the home, right? Or even if he's not in the home, he playing an active role and he talking to you every day, guiding you. Any questions that you got, I got you. This how you move. This how you know what I'm saying? Some type of standard needs to be set. So I think it starts in the home. It starts with the nuclear family unit. Fellas got to be a little bit more diligent in terms of picking the right women for us to even have sex with. Like I always say, you should not be even wasting time with women who you wouldn't mind having your kids and being married to and things of this nature. We got to get out of that. Because on one end, we'll say, oh, yeah, I know she for the streets, she this, she that, but we'll be in her DMs at 3 a.m. after we leave the club. Or, we'll be, talking to her on the phone when she want to kick it. Pull up. Let's do this. Let's do that. You are moving around with the wrong type of woman, and that's how bullshit happen. You get her pregnant. You in your head knew you should have never been messing with her to begin with. It wasn't nothing long term about her. Then why you dealing with her? So men got to be a little bit more disciplined in that realm, and that's going to lead into us being more active in the home, taking care of our kids, building a solid nuclear family unit. Pardon me. That is the solution. And until we do that, won't shit else we recommend matter. That's my opinion. Go ahead, though. What's your thoughts on it, big dog? The remedy to this disconnect, this lack of trust in terms of a man's leadership. How do we fix that?
Man, we fix that by not being so wishy-washy. We just gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta change the way we think. We gotta change the way we move. We gotta be leaders as much as we like to fuss at women and get on women and preach to women. Like we gotta change how we move the day to day, because we entertain a lot of the BS that's happening. We've enabled a lot of the things that's happening. I kind of think about like strip clubs. Like strip clubs wouldn't be as prevalent as it is if we didn't frequent them and throw the money for the attention and all that stuff. Like those women wouldn't have jobs. Their industry wouldn't be thriving the way it does. But men feed into that. You know what I'm saying? So that's using one example. But yeah, we gotta change. We gotta change our ways, and more of us got to do it. And we all got to align with each other, because for the most part, it's like once you make it or once you kind of get solid by yourself, it's like, well, shit, I did it. They got to find a way to do the same thing I did. I'm not going to share the game that I had to move up or whatever. I'm keep it to myself because nobody helped me out. So people got to figure out on their own. So it's just sharing that game back, extending that ladder, extending that rope, and just, teaching the next generation, or just the ones that's a few years younger than us. You don't have to be that young, but just starting and to change the narrative, and also leading by actions too, not just how we talking, but showing and moving accordingly.
Well said. I agree. Ms. Saida, how do we remedy this disconnect, man? Lack of trust of men, real men.
To me, it sounds like it's introspection and self-awareness and healing. If I go to the first question you ask, what real man is, ask yourself, are you that man that you're describing? If we're asking women like what a real woman is, are you that woman that you're describing? If you want a husband, be a wife. If you want a wife, be a husband. I hear you saying, I want a queen, or I'm a queen. Well, hey, there is a king out there, right? Be that king they want to be for your queen. So I feel like, we have to learn to see ourselves from inside and learn from who we are. I agree with Kayla. Forgive ourselves, learn about our traumas, past traumas that we have from childhood even. And, be self-aware of what are your weaknesses. We all have them. We're not perfect people. What are your areas of improvement? Because at the end of the day, trust is based on facts, on things that you can see, on actions. It's not just because you tell me trust me. You need to show me that I can trust you. and actions will say that. So we all trust our parents, right? They don't tell us trust me. Their actions show, because they were protecting us, they were there, their actions show that we can trust them and we can rely on them. So it's the same thing. That's it.
Agree 100%. Look, what is the remedy to this disconnect, lack of trust in the men in this era?
Well, first, if there's a disconnect between you and someone else, that just, to me, that means that you guys probably didn't lead with understanding each other to see if you're even fit. Because I think if we start doing that, we won't get that far into communication with people that we feel a disconnect. So I think we're past the time thinking of a group societal thing. I think we need to think of this as an individual basis. If you are having constant disconnect, usually it's probably disconnect with yourself. So if you have a problem trusting someone, it's not always you either. I think the other person has to do their due diligence to show that consistency. And as I'm being consistent, you're going to gain that trust. I don't know anybody who's been consistent in who they are and the other person not trust them. The only time it comes into play where you don't trust the person is because you're not confident that they can handle what they said they can handle. They're probably a procrastinator. They probably lie a lot. They probably tell, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things play into why you don't trust somebody. So I think the remedy to a disconnect is to first figure out, can I even connect with this person? Because if you guys can foundationally get along, even if we bonded over friendship first and really be friends where you can be honest, every great relationship or marriage I've heard, they can be brutally honest with each other because I know your intentions with me. I know you love me. I'm going to assume good intent. When you don't know that person or that person's intention, even when they question you something, you're on defense because you think it's negative. You don't know where it's coming from. You're apprehensive. You're hesitant. So I think to take away that hesitation, you have to first have a foundation. And we all know we lead with sex, men and women, because our urges and all those things. So we try to fit it together. So if we just focused on making a connection with somebody, then you won't really have a disconnect. The little stuff would just be a walk in the park. You can get through anything once you have a foundation that connects, in my opinion.
I agree 100%. Well said. Ronin, take us home, big dog. How do we remedy this disconnect, man?
I'm gonna start with the ladies. Actually vet your circle. Sometimes your girlfriends will keep you broken because they like the company. You have to have those healthy you have to start being comfortable, those uncomfortable conversations with yourself. Learn how to speak life into yourself and learn how to nurture yourself. Get around people who can support that environment. Because a lot of times they talk negative to themselves and wonder what they get. It's self-fulfilling prophecy. If you get comfortable establishing a relationship alone, you'll never be lonely. And that's a hard lesson that most people find out. If you're weak in certain areas, do the research on yourself. I don't care how many degrees or how much money you acquire. If you can't afford to be your genuine self, it don't mean shit. Fellas, value your meat minutes. That ain't just sexually. There's certain guys who should not be in your atmosphere because they are a reflection of your values and how you carry yourself, how you move. So it ain't just the women, it's just some of the guys you hang around, because if you're sitting around 6 bums, you're the 7th one. You got to learn to start, if you lacked, or if you had a father pass like I had, or if you have certain pillars of influence taken away from you, replace them. That's the benefit of having elders or OGs out there to correct you, to lead you to the right place. You even have like elder women who have some sound advice too. You have to have a very hungry, attentive ear and a very selective mouth. And I'll sit there close with it. It's like when it comes to yourself, you have to be that new architect. You have to start from the ground up and reestablish your foundation. Principles. You can record yourself and see how you sound. Video record yourself and see how your body language projects things, because your body can speak volumes before you can start the first conversation. So all this fake bravado online or whatnot, complaining and projecting your trauma, that's you wasting your time, and you're afraid to step outside of Never Land. The real test is outside in the block, off the porch. If you fail forward. Even look at warrior poetry if you can. Sit there and something to inspire you every day. Keep that fire lit within yourself. Once you make it cool to be you, you can change everything. because now you're too busy running your own race instead of tripping over trying to watch what everybody else is doing. That's what makes you a solid ass dude or a woman, and then you make a difference. So you prepare yourself to be that solid man or woman. That person will earn that spot with you because you can see that reflection in them, what you've established for yourself.
Hey man, beautifully stated. First off, man, I just want to salute to the panel, man. Y'all are very good at what y'all do. I don't think I tell y'all this enough. y'all are very good at what y'all do. Hell of a conversation. We're gonna read a couple super chats and then we're gonna wrap this thing up, get on up out of here, man. First and foremost, Quentin. Let's salute to Quentin. He said, I heard Lucky order a steak well done.
Medium.
Medium well.
Hey.
Facts.
Medium.
Big 10 ball SB always trying to fight.
What? They can't. I'll be trying to fight. That's not true.
Quentin would say, okay, last one. Lucky look like she drive a 05 Altima.
Wow.
Wow.
Dirty.
That's the getaway car.
Are you sure you don't with your $2?
Only got 22 payments.
Okay.
05 Altima.
Sonya said, stop posting personal information on social media.
That's a fact.
Straight up, especially in regard to the relationship. Please keep that shit off the
internet. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
And leadership looks different based on the background of each person. I don't think other races emphasize alpha and being able to fight, shoot as much as sisters, especially if she came up in a violent area. Pardon.
Yeah.
Or she came up around law enforcement.
So I have a question. If someone there, we see a lot of situations where I have a Ring doorbell. If you have a Ring, you see in your neighborhood, people get real froggy over your fence, your house, daytime, garage open. How do you plan on protecting them? If we can't talk about physical protection, if we're talking about gun control and gun laws, we see how important it is, but we're against shooting.
No, we're not.
That's who.
I'm saying the when we bring it up, it makes it seem like it's a negative for women to even put that into play. Like, let's not act like we don't have daughters, or if you have a daughter, you wouldn't want her with a man that could protect her in a serious situation if it comes down to it. No, we're not. Most people don't even just be hanging outside. They got a plan for excitement like that. So we not just in dangerous environments, car clubs or whatever, where ghetto stuff be happening. So I really just despise every time women speak about protection and a man physically being able to protect her. It has a negative notion. It's like, I'm not talking about this person, just in general. It's just kind of like, are we seriously talking to a group of men in society today that have a problem with physically protecting the woman that they want to submit to them?
Yeah, and half of them can't protect. If the police wasn't here and it was like a dog for dog fight between men, a lot of these men wouldn't even have families. Your family would be somebody else's family. But, that's neither here nor there. Let's not.
So the way that I see it, I'm sorry. The way that I see it is like, why do you always, I don't know. It's just crazy to me to think that you feel more in danger in the US than the way I feel in El Salvador. And El Salvador has a bad reputation, and I don't feel like I have to go through all the things that you mentioned. It's crazy to me. But when I hear about protection, I don't think immediately that he's gonna fight or kill or no. It's just
nobody says that we feel more in danger.
Why not?
But the man's presence is just protection automatically, just to feel that my brother is next to me, that my father is around, that a man, my cousin.
Well, why do you feel that way though? Because if it comes down to it, they're going to die for you. That's the point. Exactly. That's the reason why you feel that.
That's what I'm saying. I've never seen my father fight no one. I don't know if he knows how to fight.
No,
I feel protected.
But
by
the day, okay, let's put it like this. But
just
the
by
day
your presence,
something happened. Let's say you in a grocery store and somebody is spazzing out, and a man just slapped the shit out of you, and your daddy like, he don't do nothing. Let's get out of the store, and they just keep beating you down. You're going to then see that day if that person can protect you, right? In different situations, if it comes down to it. I'm just saying, it seems like when we mention that form of protection, let's take away the physical aspect. What other ways of protection? We only hear, oh, we're going to tell you to leave, or women don't do this. Okay, let's say she's not doing this. There's a lot of situations where you may have to protect this person. You're not going to say you're going to die, put your life on the line for somebody if you're not really about to put your life on the line. That comes with a physical action. So I don't think we're saying in America it's way more dangerous. No, I just think that it's looked at differently in America when men hear that, because it's almost like a negative, like, oh, I'm about to be out here fighting for her. No, but it's a little bit scary for women. If I hear in a situation, I have to find out that my man physically does not want to protect me. That's oh, go ahead.
You're right. We've been talking about this lately, and the men are saying sometimes that they don't because they can't. In other words, it goes back to the trust issue. They don't want to protect the women because the women are fighting and not listening, not submitting, don't want to be covered, and they actually are fighting them. So they're like confused onto who to protect. So, we may see, and I think I don't like it. I said this other
about in the context of a relationship.
Yeah, that's around the context of a relationship.
I mean, not just some man.
Well, in the context of a relationship, a way to protect could be covering. I happen to think married women move different than single women. Mm-hmm. So that's a protection because you are married. It could keep you out of places that you may be attacked on. But when you say that men they get upset when we talk about them protecting us, it's because they're saying that they don't want to do it. They don't feel a need to protect our women anymore because we don't want it.
Or they're saying that women that they would not die for. I can understand that. But I'm just saying,
but if it's your wife,
I'm just saying, based on how it's presented, it's like we always have men. It's a little bit alarming. I just kind of wanted to detour. I'm sorry, just to understand the men up here. Like when you hear protection, why do we have to always preference? I don't want to get shot. Like nobody said you was gonna get shot. Like
wise men will also remove themselves from danger. Wise men will remove from danger.
I mean, I'm just saying that's a situation. If it comes down to it, most in your adult life, you're not even in a situation to fight. You know what I'm saying? You don't. I mean, what y'all doing? But I'm just saying every time we mention that in a form of protection or have to do anything, it's almost like men have to bring.
But it could though, Lucky. In the airport, a brawl broke out in the airport. Some airport just yesterday. Chicago. A brawl in the whole airport.
Went crazy.
You better be fighting for me, and I got your.
We can get out of here.
Tactical. If I'm expecting you.
Lucky said the door is over there. That's where I'm headed.
If you have to punch somebody in the face, you better.
But you see what I'm saying? We both could be heading out. But let's say in an extreme situation, we see active shooters. I don't expect him to. I got it, honey. Like, no, I expect you to do the right things. But any event, like, it be situations that sometimes happen where you like, this is why we don't go out. Or you could be at a lounge with a hookah lounge with you know what I'm saying? It's like, we're just not going to not go outside, but just understanding that in a situation, even if his demeanor gives off a certain level of intimidation, it's almost like men have a problem with being intimidating.
Yeah, I think it just boils down to because like men view it differently because they know the extent that it could go to. So whereas, as a woman, you may see it as, okay, him just stepping in for me or whatever. But as a man, we thinking, how far can this thing go? And am I prepared to go to this? That's how men operate. We think like worst case scenario always because we got to be prepared for it. That's just what it is. But in terms of men having a problem protecting the woman they love, I don't necessarily feel like that's the case. I think it's instinct, to be honest. Regardless of what is said, if most men and their old lady is out and something jump off to where it could be violent or it could be whatever, instinct is going to be for him to step in front of her and do what he got to do to make sure that the threat don't get to her. Now, he may not be able to fight. He may not be able to shoot. But worst case scenario, he gonna step in front of her and take whatever's coming before he sits there and watches her take it. And I think that again, that's why these conversations is kind of like laughable because in real life it don't work like that. In terms of a man like having an issue protecting the woman he loves, he ain't gonna sit there and have a conversation. Well, baby, why did you do that? Why did you talk to the man like that? That's not gonna happen. If a dude come up to his girl in an aggressive manner, I feel like most dudes is gonna step in front of that, whether they can fight or not. Now, in my opinion, I think y'all do need to learn how to fight. Y'all do need to learn how to shoot. Because you don't want to take no loss in front of your old lady. That's some shit
That's
that you
what I
may
was gonna
not come
ask.
back
Like,
from.
Where you got
there
Long
was
kids.
ass
a
ride
fight,
home.
and your boyfriend got beat up. Like, how do you feel?
Mm-mm.
See?
First of all,
That's
Caleb, why he
another
getting beat up?
conversation.
Jump in.
I'm just saying, like some altercation popped off. I don't know. Just make something up. And your boyfriend got into a fight. You know, it could be with another guy that was with his girl, and you're standing there, and she's y'all both trying to tell them, babe, stop, blah blah blah, and they fight.
You know what you do, Caleb?
And her
You take
man
off on
whoop
his
your man
girl.
ass, and then he's laying on the ground. How do you feel?
No, you take off on his girl. You let
No.
No, because neither her and I were fighting. You know, they were fighting. We both were trying to get our boyfriends to stop fighting, but they
What
ended
you
up
think
fighting.
gonna happen if you get
This
into
has happened
it
outside
with
of
a
the club
dude?
in West Palm. This happened. This dude got his ass beat. It was my friend's cousin. Thank God it wasn't her man, but they beat his ass, and then after, I was like, I'm gonna go get some ice because I didn't even know what to say.
You grab your man, you grab him, and you get him to the car.
You comfort him.
Feel your man, because you can't
It was
win
my
all
friend's
fights.
cousin, so I didn't even know what to do.
No, you jump in.
But you can't win. You
I
can't
don't
win all
jump
the
in.
fights.
No,
You can't win
I
all of them.
don't fight.
If he maxing your dude out and it's just him and his girl, listen. Look, I don't portray to be traditional. I am modern. I'm not losing my man to nothing.
Oh no, you're right. If they really start to go in on him, I'm gonna have to
We'll
intervene.
deal with that according.
But I just meant a regular hand-to-hand combat between two men. You know, let's fight it out. Let's take it outside. You know, let's take it outside.
Put the dukes up.
You know how they do. Just and then they start doing this little thing.
It get worse.
It looked like that.
How would you
And then they start with the elbow go up. What you gonna do? I don't know. I don't know.
But if he's protecting you, then I think if your man take an L protecting you, you just gotta be there for him.
Right. And say, baby,
live to fight another day.
Grab him and get him out before the police come.
Baby, they're not even worth it.
You got to get to that car for the police come.
Babe.
Y'all
Baby,
are extremely honorable, man. I gotta give y'all.
Unless you somewhere where y'all got gun laws. But yeah, that's
another conversation. We're gonna keep this thing moving. Marissa, I think SB said it best. We have to work on ourselves. We as individuals need more self-awareness. I agree with that one.
Definitely do.
Nico with the 10 bar. Women gotta submit, period. Else it will never work. Kings ain't kings by dominance, but by submission. 25 million citizens, one king. Facts. Quentin SB has a hard time keeping her faces to herself. Salute to Quentin. Sanya with the 2 bar. Men need to be their own best friend.
Yeah.
Marcus said, great conversation tonight. Nigel, welcome back. 2, don't be a stranger. You're needed in these spaces. Good night, folks.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, bro.
Wow, Marcus tapping out early.
Team Fatty with the 5. How much money to block Quentin off the chat forever? Y'all hilarious, man. Antoine with the 5. I always trust everyone to be themselves, but trust in the fact you can see them well. RIP DMX. Facts, man. Oh, also RIP Tina Turner, man. We lost a legend today.
Yeah.
Peace to the queen, man. Quentin said 304. Kayla, is this better?
304.
Don't start that over here, Quentin. Ain't nobody knows 304.
Talking about this $2 that he sent.
No, he sent $3. I know Quentin. He sent $3 on purpose.
It's even worse because my nigga's scraping up 4 pennies and shit.
Oh man. JJ with the 5, I'll say Quentin eat Pringles with the lid still on. Y'all niggas crazy. Matthew with the 5, I just see other cultures with nerdy guys that we know can't fight, and they seem to have respect for them.
Yeah,
that's right. True. If he get beat up, you just smack him on the face, get him up. Come on, baby, get to the car.
Carrying your man to the car after ass whooping is crazy.
You got to get him out.
Visual is nuts. Dallas with the 2 bar.
If you know he can't fight, you got to stop the fight before it even starts. Hey,
there you go.
No.
There you go.
You have to know your man. Yeah. That's right.
Let's go.
Quentin.
It's just that the way I see it is different ways of protection. Protection is not just physical, it's mentally, emotionally. It's different type of protection. Telling you not to wear something is guiding you, is protecting you. So I don't just concentrate on the physical part.
But just
You
really
know,
quick,
men
really
get beat
quick.
up behind women wearing short skirts because other men be looking at them, and then they get mad at the other man, and then they think they can beat them, and then they get beat up.
They testing your nuts.
People
That's
mad
what
at
we be
because
talking
people
about.
have
They
eyes.
testing
I
your
got
nuts.
eyes. Okay.
You let your woman walk out the house like that, I'ma look.
Right. I'm
Exactly.
like, you mad at me because I'm looking?
Yes,
Trill,
yes, they get
Trill,
mad.
when can
It's
we
the-
have a
it's the
discussion about
manner.
the 5 things?
Anyway, Ronan,
All we ask, man. All we ask is
Y'all
5.
seen that lady that just got her TSA clearance revoked for beating her man up on the plane because he was looking at other women.
see that?
Y'all seen that? Y'all seen that thing?
I didn't see that.
That's
Yeah,
why
it
you
went
got
viral.
to go to
I've
the
seen it before. I've seen a man get beat down because his wife had
Cursing him
a short
out,
skirt on.
and
Yeah.
they
you
took
got
her
people
ass.
I
say
seen a woman get beat down because
Oh.
she had a short skirt on.
Short
Thought she
skirt
was
on.
in the house.
Just really quick, because I want to add this
Yeah.
too. Ladies, if y'all man just so happen to get into it with somebody, do not get in the middle.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Please
Yeah.
do
Don't
not
grab
get in the
him.
middle.
Never.
Don't
Who does
grab
that?
me. None of that.
See, that's hard because I think
No,
women be wanting to protect
no.
their
because you in a vulnerable position. You feel what I'm saying? And your back is turned. We don't need all that.
because
He
you ain't
might-
gonna be punching on my man.
Yeah, but
No,
you
but the
if
thing
you
is, like,
hold
you
my
said-
hand and tell me no, babe, stop, he about to come over you and hit me across my head.
No, Lucky, you got to walk around and get behind the other guy. So when he
Yeah.
get ready to fight, you can grab his arm, and then your man can get him, and then y'all can run out.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck
with you.
him, get there.
I'm with because if your man on the ground and he getting the best, like I'm not about to be
Mm-mm.
sitting and not do
Mm-mm.
nothing. No.
Let
No, I'm
him
about
go.
to start. I'm about,
Okay.
about to find an
My bad. Let's go,
object
B.
and
Let's
get
go.
you off my man.
See,
You're
man.
not
Yeah.
about to
Okay, but
It's
that's
your fault. It's your fault. It's
Oh.
always real quick.
Let's
It's
go.
always
Oh,
real
but
quick.
y'all got to listen. Don't look. We got a snitch in the house, though. Remember.
Oh. Here we go. We ain't doing that one again.
Wait,
Look,
what?
look, Sayeda.
I'll
What happened?
take it.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Sayeda, no, she was just, that was an analogy, right? That
I
wasn't.
don't fuck with no snitching.
That
No.
wasn't
So
right. She
don't
wasn't.
You can't tell all your
me
secrets. We
who
can't
tell
tell all our secrets.
Stand
She be
on
like,
it. I stand on it. I stand on it.
she be like,
You
this is how
bet.
they do in the club. No. You
it.
can't
Don't
tell.
tell me who telling.
She'd be like, it was my boyfriend. He started the whole
Sayeda
thing.
not invited to nothing at the live show. After the
Right.
show, we just go see you.
Nothing
Later.
illegal.
If I
Nothing
see
illegal.
somebody doing something illegal, I am walking out. I'm
Wearing
not
a
saying
wire.
anything. I am out. I am removing
Lucky,
myself
see?
from that.
That's better. That's better. Right
Okay.
there.
That's
That's
good.
better.
That's after she tell how Lucky walked around the club and got behind the guy because she knew her and her man planned it.
Come on, you can't be. Dallas say, "Lucky you used all extreme situations though." In terms of the protection.
Using a gun is an extreme situation.
Is it?
There.
I live in an open
No,
carry
sorry,
state.
sorry,
And here in Florida, I can stand my ground.
All right, salute to Ladia with the 20 ball. Say, just because I appreciate the bold, the black, the beautiful, raw, uncut people and content, keep it coming. Love the diversity. First podcast that has really caught my attention. And appreciate you pulling up on us, man. That's love. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks. Quentin with 2. If I die for my chick, who gonna cut the grass? Man?
Leroy.
Oh.
The annuity you set up for your family.
Combo with till time be even Mike Tyson wasn't undefeated.
Right. We might lose. You're right.
It's true. Dallas followed. Kayla dudes ain't just first fighting these days. They are shooting, stabbing.
They are definitely shooting.
etc. And it's usually over petty things that could have been avoided.
Like I said, times is different.
They are, man. Salute to Quentin with the oh, man. Why Kayla
No,
and Quentin, I don't know
Quentin,
what
that's
y'all got
not
going
better
on.
Hey,
either.
ain't your zip code area code 305? Isn't that Miami 305?
I don't know what he's.
I see
trying
what
to
he's
say.
doing. It's funny.
I don't
What
know
he
what
doing?
I think he is trying to reference 305, but you know, we win some, we lose some.
Oh, there we go. Antoine with the 5. It's a lot of dudes resting in peace up behind them gates. And your woman will be the dude. Will be with the dude who you dragged you.
The dude that dragged you.
Yeah,
It's
with
a
the
broken hood English.
Don't blame that on me.
Read it again.
It's natural for me
Nah,
to
we ain't
be
reading.
hypergamous. Don't blame that on
Dude
me.
who did you? Whoa. Boss.
Be with the dude who did you, dragged you. Damn. That's
Read it with
crazy.
your finger.
Because if you got beat up and you still
Y'all
ended
read
up
it
in
out
jail,
loud, then shit.
then I definitely
No, I'm
need to
good.
move on from
Exactly.
you. How
I'm
you
tired.
the victim and you end up in jail?
We knew what he meant.
Lord have mercy. But nah, man. Salute to
Where's the loyalty? Where's the loyalty? We talked about this.
She said, "Yo, man,
Hey,
she ain't saying
man.
nothing about no husband."
Look here, man. It's been a hell of a conversation, man, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Crusader Nation is good and all night. Heavy. You understand me? Me and the guys, we gotta go catch a flight in about 2 hours. Or 3 hours, probably. We gotta head to the airport about 3 hours, but still want to stay, give y'all that content, man, that y'all know and love. We everybody asking about the podcast. We're gonna be back June 6th. The pod will be back June 6th. I'm seeing people hitting us on Twitter. My Instagram DMs going crazy. Man, y'all still no pod? Another Tuesday, no pod?
Another motherfucking Tuesday.
You're right.
It's
June
Kenny's
6th.
fault because he not doing nothing.
Damn.
Tatiana.
Tatiana.
Tatiana. We're not doing this.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing.
No, we ain't. I rebuke it.
Tatiana.
Tatiana.
I rebuke this.
What was that?
No.
What was that?
He said, I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but y'all,
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Can you tell about that baby oil that you bought?
You put baby oil on his thighs?
Cut it.
Hey, I just seen some men at Black Magic with baby oil. They were looking incredible. I'm just
Okay, what's Black Magic?
I know what Black Magic is. How was the show?
What's Black Magic?
I know helicopter.
It's after 12. You can tell me. It's after 12. You can tell me.
He played the guitar with his.
What?
Really?
Oh my God.
Wow.
And what?
What do y'all
None.
Trey, we have to go. We have to go. These things are corrupting me right now.
No, but that I kind of want to know about that. That sounds like a great bachelorette type.
It was Vivica Fox thing. So you remember when she did the Men?
Right.
They have a show here.
He played the guitar. What?
If you come in Vegas for Memorial Day weekend, go see that and go see McMills on Sunday. You might see me there.
You get a free mushroom stamp.
And see, what if the fight break out of there? What y'all gonna do?
It's tire polish.
Say Black Magic is powerful.
Dead ass.
Oh my God.
Hey.
No, but that's a good idea though, Lucky, for the bachelorettes out there.
What part?
The show.
She getting ready to get married the next week.
Boss, board mission.
They don't do anything. It's really like a Black chip and down.
Yeah, it's just a show. It's just a show.
I mean, you see some stuff,
I mean, isn't this the last chance you have to see some stuff?
No. You get to see your husbands or your husband to be.
Yeah, and that's all you get to see.
A helicopter.
Ask your husband a helicopter.
Ask him what the helicopter is. Nah, hey, y'all niggas got to laugh. Hey, on that note, man, we appreciate everybody pulling up. Love, man. Thank y'all. Again, we're gonna be back at this thing next Wednesday, 9:30ish. Y'all know how we give it up, man. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Panelists, y'all already know it's love, man. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. All y'all cooked tonight. I ain't gonna even hold you. And on that note, man, we are gone.